red writing at the top, that means it's broadcasting.
Oh, okay. Gotcha.
Now watch, see now it's saying it's starting down there. So you're doing it.
Okay, I'm on live?
Yeah, I got it.
Alright. Hi, everybody.
Hang on, now you gotta wait.
Oh. How do I know when it's on? Oh, I got the green light now. So now what, right?
You're streaming.
Okay. Alright. Hi. I'm Karla Reeves. This is my first live stream, so everybody welcome. Ranger's not in here yet.
Working on it.
Okay.
There you are.
Let me switch glasses because I can't see. No, that's worse. Wrong ones. Try again. Okay. Huh? What'd you do?
Oh, I'm signed in under you, so it's okay. I'm a super moderator.
I said hello to myself. Yay! Me, myself, and I.
Hang on, I gotta go.
Okay. Anyway, I'll just talk to myself and talk to live air. Hi, everybody. My name is Karla Reeves. I'm a published author, and I'd like to talk about a few things. Hello, my name is Karla Reeves. I want to talk about publishing a book and then get into talking about my book that I published. My second book, I've published 2 books. For years, let me turn my phone off. Heaven forbid my sister call or somebody call. Hold on just a moment. Commercial time. Okay. Let's see. Let's put it on airplane mode. Oh, so I'm just talking to myself? Can I erase this and start over?
No.
Oh, joy. Oh, well. Oh, well. Okay. Okay. So I look at the big bad camera. All right. Calls for a Pepsi. Yes. Pepsi time. Let's do a Pepsi commercial. Just a little clowning. Pepsi time. Okay, you in here yet? Huh? How do I know people are in here? It show up on the log? Chat log thing? I'll get the hang of some of this stuff one day. So I can't edit this and erase some of it? Start over?
Later.
Oh, okay. Later. That'll work. That'll work. Huh? Are you in here? Hi, Ranger. Welcome. How are you, darling? Hi. My name is...
Now we're only 2 in here.
Okay, so what we do, just talk to each other?
Go over to my name in the chat.
Okay. Go over to your name. Okay. Oops, that's
See
me.
the little people down there? See, it says 1.
Add moderator?
Yeah, that's,
Okay, that one?
yeah, now I'm moderator.
Okay. Can I have more than one?
Yeah, as many as you want, just be real careful. So there's 2, so somebody else just joined.
Did somebody join us?
See the little people down there?
No.
See where it says 2?
I have no clue.
Down.
Where?
Lord have mercy.
Well, I'm sorry, dear.
Where
You're...
it says watching?
Oh, okay, my bad.
Okay.
Well, where's the other person at besides you?
I don't know.
Is it just me and you?
Probably it's just me and you.
Oh, somebody left the room. Oh, I was too boring. Okay. Okay.
It's a learning curve, honey.
Yeah. Okay, it's all good. It's all good. I'm going to pull that up just a smidge. Just a smidge. Because I don't think I'm going to be chatting.
Huh?
I don't think I will be,
No, you ain't going to be.
Typing because I can't walk and chew gum.
Well, no, you won't. Unless you're going to type something in.
Yeah, okay.
Greg, get one.
I got 2 people in here. Hi, welcome.
I think Shree's asking.
Yeah, tell her I'm going live. Tell her I'm going live. Tell her, come on in. That might have been her. Okay, just start from here. Okie doke. Hi everyone. My name is Karla Reeves. Huh? So what? Just wait for people to show up? Oh, okay. Let's do a comedy channel. I better quit. This is recording. So there's nobody in here yet. Just 2. Just me and you. Me and you and a dog named Boo. There's only 2 people in here. Hey, family, Loveless. Hi. Hi, how are you? Well, this is going to be get my feet wet. I'm doing a solo. Anyway, welcome to my channel. I'm here to talk about a couple of things. Uh-oh. My cat's making her rounds again. Uh-oh. Come on, Miss Betty. Come on, get down, baby. Come on, get down. Get down. Get down. Get down. As long as you sit right there, we'll be fine. Come on, Miss Betty. Sit down. Come on. Be a good girl. Be a good girl, Mama. Anyway, want to welcome everybody. Love the thing behind you. Okay, which one? The swans? Oh, you're fixing to see a black tail again. The mysterious black tail. Come on, sit down, baby. Sit down. Sit down, Mama. Come on. Yes, Miss Betty. Be a good girl, Mama. Come on, sit down. Anyway, I love swans. Swans is one of my things. Did you know a little fact about swans? Miss Betty is looking at me. I guess you can see the ears pop up. Yes, she's listening intently. Yes, she's precious. Anyway, did you know swans, a little info about swans, they mate for life. And the swans that I really love come from Lakeland, Florida, where I lived for a little while. And the Queen Mum, Queen Elizabeth, I guess the first, or no, the Queen Mum, not Queen Elizabeth, but her mother, gave Lakeland, Florida 6 sets of swans. They had mute swans, whistling swans. Never knew I'd get into swans today, but hey, I'll wing it. She gave them 6 sets of swans, male and female. And they were different ones. Some were black, some were the white ones. They had the whistling swans. And I don't know all of the names of the swans that they had. But some of the swans have what they call curly feathers. They look like they're curly a little bit. So anyway, some of the swans had gotten sick that they sent to Lakeland, Florida. And the swans, a couple of them died because they got sick. So she sent some more. So if you go to Lakeland, Florida, go to Lake Mirror, and they have all kinds of beautiful swans. I would recommend there for Florida. And it's just an awesome place. Anyway, I thought I'd start my video today getting my feet wet today, so I'll probably have a few bloopers on here, especially when I first started out, because Donald and I were helping. Donald was helping me get all this set up. So thank you, Ranger. Thank you for your help. He's in here, I think, still. I think. You still in here, Ranger?
Yeah.
Well, type. Say something, hon. He's getting a little grumpy. Little grumpy baby. Anyway, I thought I'd talk about the subject of how to get a book published and where my inspiration came from on wanting to be a published author. Well, you're fixing to see another blacktail. Well, she ducked it down that time. Come on, Miss Betty. Come on, old Black Betty. Come on, Miss Betty. Move your tail. Come on. That's her tail keeps popping up. Come on, sit down, Mama. Come on, sit down. Come on, baby. Sit down. She has to give her feedback, don't you know?
You didn't make me a moderator.
Huh?
You didn't make me a moderator.
I didn't make you moderator?
No.
Well, let me try it again then. I thought I did, but I guess not. Let's see. Add moderator. Now it says you're the moderator. So, I don't know. Miss Betty is sitting down now. Well, Donald, I don't know what to...
You can't just hover over it. You gotta click on it.
I did, darling. Oy. Teaching the blind. A redhead teaching the blind. Go figure. That's a joke waiting to happen, isn't it? Okay. Let me try this again. Whoops. That didn't work. Okay, let me... Donald, you may have to do this. I do not like computers. Well, it's it. It says you're the moderator, Ranger. Can't help it if it ain't working. Test. Maybe you got to come out and go back
I'm
in.
grumpy. I ain't had much sleep.
Yes, Lord.
So just... Ow. Now, ow. Left click next to my name.
I did that.
Over there. Those little dots.
I did that, dearest.
Go down. Add moderator. All the way at the bottom.
I did.
Click.
I did that. See, look. It says, Ranger is now moderator.
Well, what's the deal?
Well,
I don't.
you got me. Hey, I'm a blonde. I don't know.
Now I'm buffaloed. Well, try to make family loveless.
Okay.
Because I know it's...
Here we go.
Yeah.
Want to be a moderator, family?
No.
Whoops. Wrong way. Now you are.
Is now a moderator for your channel. Well,
I don't know.
why is it not showing it?
I don't know. Hey, sis.
Shirley.
Welcome. Hey, how are you? We're doing the comedy hour. I was trying to be serious for a second. Now you're tantalizing me.
Yeah,
what
I'm
I do to
getting
you.
back for what you did
yeah,
to me.
payback's a bad boy, ain't it? Yep. Anyway.
Well, it's showing you're making a moderator, but they're not.
Dear, I don't know.
Here,
You're the I2 man, not me.
let's get it.
Squeeze.
Hang on. Now we're revealing we're in a teeny tiny little room.
We're in a closet. Shh. What'd you just do?
I'm restoring the chat because there's something
Hi, everybody. Welcome.
not quite right here. Okay.
Well, see, I told you to do that.
Add moderator.
See? Says you're the moderator again. I don't know.
I don't neither. Yeah, you're the high chief or chiefess or Betty. I don't know why it's doing that.
I don't know either. I have no clue.
That's blowing my mind. It's not making anybody moderator.
Oh, look what you did.
What? Yeah, that's just a test. Don't worry about it.
Oh, okay.
I got one more trick here. I'm gonna try.
Okay, Superman. Do some magic, because I have no clue.
Thing, chat.
Okay, all right. I will try to. Now, where did you put the chat at? You hid the chat. Oh, this is really going to be an interesting video.
No, you moved the...
Oh, the chat's behind. Okay. I don't know.
Are we ever going to get through this?
Yeah, we will. We'll get through it. Just got to be... just got to be patient. Now, how'd I do that? Just got to be patient. Now, how'd I do that? Just got to be patient.
Oh, crap.
What?
Eat it, honey. It's going to blow everybody's eardrum.
Oh, I'm sorry, guys. My bad.
Mute.
Needless to say, this is going to be funny. Well, I just now turned it off.
Turn what off? The chat.
That thing.
Back.
Oh, jeez. Teaching the blind. Lord, pray for him,
Yeah,
y'all.
that's muted.
Okay. Well, I did.
Let me get the chat.
Kiss Junebug for me.
Pop out. Lord.
Yes, pray for us.
I tell you, I don't know.
Is she potty trained yet?
Charlie might have been in here.
Huh?
Some of these was in here my first time streaming.
Uh-huh.
And it was ridiculous. I was like, is this working? And I'd lose the chat like,
can you hear me
hello?
now?
Is anybody out there?
Can you hear me now?
This is what happens the very first time.
Yay, this will be funny.
So
I
there,
hope
now
I
you
can
got your
edit
chat.
it. Okay.
You got the people watching you.
Kiss Junebug for me.
Because it's showing only two watching, but you've got all kinds of people.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Do your thing.
Okay. Yes, she loves graham crackers, I can bet you. Of course, you know she's going to be spoiled regardless, Junebug. She's a little precious. Okay. What did you mess up? You messed something up.
Whoops.
Yeah, you messed it up. Oh. See, you messed it up, Donald. Come fix it, Ranger. Because it's bleeding through on the swans. Am I still live?
Yeah.
Okay, good deal. Okay. Okay. I will get this fixed one day, right? My first video. Are you going to fix this?
Don't worry about that right now.
Okay. All right, good deal. Okay, good to know. Okay. Anyway, guys, I wanted to be an author for a very long time. Back in, I guess, the early 90s, thereabout. And so I wrote a manuscript, all 300 pages by hand, and my ex found it, so it got ripped up, and he told me I'd never make it as an author. So anyway, I give up on that dream. Whatever dream you have in life, don't give up on it no matter what. So I put it on the back burner. Hey, thanks sis for subscribing. And so later on, back in 2010 on the news channel, there was a lady, she was talking about her grandbaby that got burned up in the fire. So that inspired me how she got published. And she told me her writing a book really helped her with her grief of the grandbaby, because the baby was small when it passed in the fire. Well, so I got to writing, and typing on the computer. Oh, we got another one coming. Miko. She doesn't have a tail. She's a little bobtail, so she's going to make her appearance, and she may say a word. Hi, Miko. See, she said hello. Hello, Miko. Mama's baby. Anyway, she inspired me to do what I had always wanted to do, is publish a book. Didn't know how to do it, didn't know how to get started, so I started with the simple stuff. I just started writing down my thoughts. A lot of times I'll keep pen and paper by the bedside because my mind is the clearest right before I go to sleep, or as soon as I wake up, I'll get an idea for a book. So I'll jot down book notes. And if you don't have pen and paper, just pick up the old cell phone and go ahead and start talking into it. Make a little video and just do your book notes. That helps you remember what you're wanting to write. So anyway, I wrote chapters and stuff on the computer, and I got a dragon program. Oh, here comes Miss Betty back. Okay, Miss Betty, won't you sit down, darling? Come on, sit down, Mama. Sit down. Sit down. You're fixing to see another blacktail. Come on, Miss Betty, sit down. Sit down, baby. Come on, sit down, sit down, sit down. Well, she sits down when she's ready, so let's just put it that way. Anyway, I started writing my chapters. I didn't know how to format it, and there's Miss Betty. She, me, not she. Okay, you're distracting, darling. Come on, sit down. Anyway, I got a dragon program. And see, I had the learning disability, dyslexia. And I have trouble with my spelling. And I've been tested, and at times I have a 3rd grade spelling ability. So, no matter if you have dyslexia or any type of learning disability or any kind of disability, don't let them stop you from living your dream and writing your book if that's what you want. So, anyway, my first book, The Shades of Grace, is a spiritual book, a Christian book, written about the stories of my life. And I talk about different little snippets and short stories about things that has happened to me. My grandfather was a preacher, so I write about that. Thank you, Cherie. You're a sweetie. Love you, sis. Anyway, I talk about that in the book, and I write about it. So I Googled how to publish my book. Come on, baby. Put your tail down, baby. Come on. Come on. I'm trying to keep her away from the microphone because she'll blow everybody out. Oh, Miss Betty's not cooperating today. She's on her time schedule, like most cats, right? Cats or something else. Anyway, so midway through the first book that I had published, now that book is called The Shades of Grace. It's on Amazon.com. You can download it on I think it's ebooks. You can download it on your Kindle, which it's cheaper than buying the book outright. Some people, you know, they like to download stuff on their iPad, iPhone, whatever the device is, and you should be able to do that. But like I say, it's The Shades of Grace. Kentucky Ranger did all my wonderful graphics on the book. He did the cover, front and back. He did an awesome job. So anyway, that book is still up right now. I will later take it down and have it re-edited because I've got more stories to put in the book. And plus the ex libris. Thank you, Cherie. The book is still filled with grammatical errors. I could have took it to Kinko's and got the exact same thing. But the positive thing is I got my book out there. It's not easy to publish a book. Thank you, family. Thank you. The book is, it was very therapeutic for me to write it, even though it was just happy stories. One of the stories is where I stood up for God. I had a little cross and I wore it every day, and my boss threatened to fire me over it. So get the book, check that one out, how that wound up. And at the time, God was taking me through the lesson of standing up for myself, and I worked for a telemarketer. I won't tell too much of the story because I want people to buy the book, of course, and tell me what they think. You know, overlook the spelling mistakes because there is still quite a few mistakes in the book. Okay, so getting back to, I blew up my first 2 dragons, and what the dragon, Naturally Speaking, is a software product that helps anybody with typing, whether you're blind or what have you, or you have spelling issues where you can't spell. Okay, and it's a great product. I have purchased a new one, which is Naturally Speaking Dragon. Naturally Speaking. It's number 13, and it is really good and compatible with Windows. It works really well. I don't know how it works on any other type of computer because that's all basically I've ever had is Windows. Stuff like that. But it is an awesome product. It comes with a headset. You just dictate into your computer after you get it set up and trained. You have to train the dragon to understand your speech pattern and your accent. So you have to work with it a little bit. But as far as being a good program, it's really good. It's really easy. You can even send texts and emails and stuff through the dragon, but you have to set it up, and you have to be patient when you set it up because it takes a little bit, because you can't just throw the disk in your computer or your laptop and go from there unless you're just absolutely a whiz at technology and everything. But there are some blessed people that are. Anyway, I got the next one. And I'm working on my next book. Oh, the Dragon Program. Oh, sorry. You can get it at Walmart. Walmart's has it. Any your like Best Buy, they have it. Amazon.com carries it. They carry it cheaper. It starts out at $50, which that's the one that I had purchased that I blew up. But the best one I would really recommend for Windows operating system would be the Dragon Naturally Speaking 13. It's really compatible, like I say. Now that one costs a little bit more. I think it's $175, something thereabout. The prices usually change a little bit towards Christmas. It usually drops. But it is an excellent product. And when I found Ex Libris, I Googled it. Google knows everything, don't you know? Don't we wish, right? So anyway, I Googled how to get a book published. So I'm just telling you some of the things that I've done with my publishing. And now I actually have a publishing company that is, of course, it's one that I have to pay for. Now, until you can get a few books under your belt, I would suggest when you get your manuscript written, I would suggest that you type it out, print it out, or even send it through email. That's the way everybody's doing things now, is submitting through email. But you have to be careful with some of the companies because there are a lot of them, like Ex Libris. The pros and cons on Ex Libris, I wasn't really satisfied for $3,000. They just basically printed my book. Now the book quality is good, but they're not good. There you go. You got it. Kentucky Ranger. It's coming up that you're the moderator. It works. Don't know what you did, but you got the little wrench by your name. And Cherie's got it too. family does too. LOL. Anyway, I got back up in here. All right. Anyway, getting my book. You just have to be smarter than the dumbware. At least you didn't say blondeware, right? Right, Ranger?
That's worse than blondeware.
It's worse than blondeware? Uh-oh. Whoa.
Overeducated idiots.
Yeah, okay. Behave now. Be a good boy. Come on now. Anyway, getting back to what I was saying,
I'm good.
Ex Libris really,
Make me cry.
it's a good company in a way. If you want to get a book under your belt and get it published, you can do that. But it's really got some drawbacks with Ex Libris. The book quality, my book, was really good, except for the editing and some of the cases in the current book, Bruises from Within. They left in some of the grammatical errors and made some of it worse because we from the South, the Southerners, we say y'all and things like that. Well, they didn't understand our, slangs and things like that. So they're a good company in a way, but in a way, it's hit and miss. Another thing that Ex Libris will tell you is they're out of the USA, which is not so. They say that the company that they are based at is in Bloomington, Indiana. I Google Earth the address that they gave me, and guess where it was? It was in the yellow line in the road. So it's fictitious. So I wouldn't really suggest going through Ex Libris because they are a ripoff. Plus, after they got my $3,000, if anybody tells you a red flag, if anybody tells you that your book will be published in 3 to 6 months, Miss Betty's ears is popping up again. Hi, Miss Betty. Hello, sweetheart. And anyway, if they tell you your book will be edited and ready to publish within 3 to 6 months, you better run. Take your money and run, because it's a ripoff. That's what I was told. That's what happened. They're no good. And plus, you'll have people that calls you from the Philippines and different countries that is trying to get more money from you. They will, oh, but Mrs. Reeves, you really need us to come and videotape you for a 3-minute infomercial, and we'll come to you. But the thing of it is, you have to pay them $6,000. Well, I was getting a little sarcastic because I do have a sense of humor. I said, how about you pay me to interview me instead of me pay you? So I was basically paying their airfare for them to come here and videotape me. I said, no. I said, and plus they were trying to tell me that my infomercial would be on like at 3 o'clock in the morning, and a company, I mean, not company, but a state like Iowa that, I'd like to see it local. Well, I know people here in the state where we're from, which is Kentucky, that I know people that can get me on TV. I can be on TV. I know how to get things like that done. I can talk them into it. But, they make you a lot of promises. They tell you what you want to hear. Yeah, KYT, exactly. I've been to Channel 36, and I've got pictures on my Facebook. Karla Reeves, check out my Facebook, and you can, if you go through some of my pictures, you'll see where I was at Channel 36, and I was giving them my first book. So, I know a few people, and I've been on the radio too, so people interviewing me on my book. And doing a book, publishing a book, if you're willing to do your own PR work, such as if you're willing to go to businesses with your book that's published, when you have a copy in your hand and say, hey guys, I'd like to take donations up for my book, which is my current book. It's about domestic violence and what, ouch baby, now we have another one. Let her say hi. This is Zelda. Say hi, Zelda. Say hi, Zelda. Okay, Miss Zelda. She's going to sit in my lap. She wanted to make her little debut. So, anyway, there's a lot to it. And what I do plan to do is take my second book. Oh, thank you, Ranger. Thank you for that. That's where you can get the Dragon Naturally Speaking. Now I've got a fly in here. Yay, more pets, right? Anyway,
that's the $130.
Oh, that's the $130 one? Okay. Anyway, click on that link if you're interested in getting the dragon.
How about crap my pants? They got one for $3,000.
Yeah, they probably do. They make quite a few dragons. I know our cardiologist, he has one. You're welcome. You're welcome. Anyway, I get on half a dozen subjects. Anyway, getting your book done, which I do plan to do speaking engagements after my second one is done, Bruises from Within. Now let me tell you a little bit about Bruises from Within. Bruises from Within is a book about domestic violence. And I talk about the different facets, if you will, of domestic violence. The emotional abuse. And the picture, thank you Kentucky Ranger for doing my artwork on this book also, Bruises from Within. That is an old picture of me at the age of 25 years old, looking into a mirror. And I look like the girl next door. Not bad for 52 now. So, anyway, what I write in this book is I just tell the things that I went through with domestic violence. Yes, he does my photography. Thank you, Ranger. You're awesome. What can I say? You're awesome. He's my computer man, too, of course. Thank you. And anyway, I just wrote some of the things that people have asked me over the years. People has asked me, why in the world did you stay? And so I just... I'll tell what some of the obstacles that prevented me from leaving. Sometimes it's financial, which that was for me. I talk about the isolation. I talk about all of the grooming steps they do. Men get beat also. And my book, the reason for the picture, my publishers wanted me to change the title because they said it doesn't sound correct. Bruises from Within. Well, when you read the book, you'll probably get the full picture of why I chose that. And the reason I chose that is because I'm talking about the emotional abuse, the bruises people don't see. And I hit the aspects of the abuse that people don't even think about. The financial abuse, I go into that. The psychological abuse, the financial, I probably said that twice. Sorry. And I just break it down in pieces of how people are abused, or how I was. And how they start. They start with the jealousy and stuff like that. I'm sorry, Cherie. Oh, there's so many reasons. With me, he wouldn't allow me. I'll call him Race Car Roy, and that's what I call him in the book. Of course, I can't say his name and stuff like that because You know, I don't want him to feel like he's being slandered in any way, but the truth is the truth, the way I see it. And I just wrote my autobiography in my words. Hey, Cherie, you should write you another book and get it published. You can do this, girl. You can do this. And I think you would do a good job too. You know, telling your story.
You go, girlfriend.
Oh, Ranger. He's doing commentary in the background. He said, "Go, girlfriend." Anyway, it's really difficult a lot of times to leave an abusive situation, and a lot of people may think, well, the door goes both ways. Yes, it really does, but at the same time, if you're a woman that's away from your family, if you have little ones, even a guy, for instance, there could be fear involved. Now, after I left my ex, I was having a lot of PTSD, post-traumatic stress. I was having panic attacks. Ranger can tell you that, because when we married back in 2005, he can tell you I was having a lot of panic attacks. And what helps that is therapy, 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 and most of all, a good, loving spouse, whether you're married to a man or a woman, whomever. Just having support of your family, even. But it's the thing that people don't talk a lot about. And even with myself, I tried to hide that I was in abuse. And everybody knows somebody that's in abuse. Everybody does, or suspects it, whether it's a guy or a gal. And it can start out in high school, dating. There can be date violence and stuff like that. But it's not easy to get out. It's not easy when people are judging. And when somebody's in domestic violence of any kind, where it's psychological, this abuse can happen any time of your life, whether you're in high school, whether you're 80 years old, whether you're in your mid-teens. You know, it knows no background. Abuse, it can, you know, whether you're black, white, whatever nationality you are, whatever religion you are, abuse, it's terrible. And I want to get the word out there that you can recover, you can persevere. Because when I left my ex back in 2001 with my daughter, Ninja Bunny, I said her name, Victoria is her name. I write about that. I write about going to court and facing him for child support. Now, my ex, let me give you a little tidbit on this book, a little something interesting that may get you to read it. My ex was getting paid cash, what they call under the table. And I got him good. Not bad for a child bride, not bad for a high school dropout. Not bad. I got him in contempt of court every time I went. And I'm somebody that I don't have a high school education, but I went into court with the facts. I proved that he was always in contempt. And you got to read the book to find out how I did it. Anybody can do what I did. And there's a few things I did that it was all about survival. And I think that's why I was having a lot of panic attacks. I didn't know how to pay bills. I'm still learning some of that stuff thanks to Ranger. He's helping me learn a lot of things. I've also learned to drive. Something I couldn't dream of doing. I've been driving now for 1 year. Yay! So I want this book to be an empowerment book to whoever reads it. I want people to, yes, childhood abuse is raised in, God bless you, honey, God bless you. My father was adopted, and yes, yes, indeed, sister, indeed, Cherie, indeed. I just want people to take my book, and in case you know somebody or you suspect it in your family that there's maybe abuse, maybe you can give them a copy of my book. And as soon as my book does come out, I will most definitely be doing a live a live stream and telling everybody when it's out. But I want my book to, change the way people speak and talk about this taboo subject, because a lot of it is cultural, father to son. The father might have saw, or the son might have saw his dad beating mama, then they would kiss and make up, and they think that's what abuse is. So in my book, I dissect it down to where the roots start from. And there'll be more books. There'll be probably a follow-up book on this, talking about more in detail of the things that I faced. Oh, here comes Mrs. Elda again. She wants to cuddle. Anyway, I'm definitely, I'm just talking about, in my view, how things progress, the abuse, how it starts out slowly. Just the warning signs, I write about that. That's why the title is Bruises from Within. Amen, Ranger. But anyway, I want people to start the conversation, or even if you have a family member and you give them the book as any type of gift, they can know, and maybe they can get a little bit of hope in my book. Now, I know every situation is different with abuse, but you can get out. And I write in this book how God has helped me. So this is a Christian book, even though it's got a few bad words in there, probably a PG rating. But some of the things, thank you, family, thank you. Some of the things that I wrote on how they happened and stuff. And I talk about being raped and stuff like that. I don't get into detail, but I kind of minimize it a little bit, but I just brief over it so people knows that, when you say no and different things, all of the things that they do to abuse you, or this is what happened to me, because, somebody else's story may be different, but maybe if they get the book, they can start the conversation. Oh, Donald, hey now. I mean, Ranger, hey. You're bad. You're naughty. Anyway, and I write a couple chapters is on Ranger in here, and how he adopted my daughter, Victoria. That's her true name. And how I fought for child support. And at the age of 14, Ranger adopted my daughter. And I tell you, you wouldn't know any different, because he's a good man of integrity and compassion. And I write about, he's got about 2 or 3 chapters in the book. So y'all got to stay tuned for that. I hope you'll leave me some comments, and I hope there's somebody out there that this book will make a difference in their life. Maybe show them, hey, there is hope, there is help. Because I was isolated, I didn't have a driver's license, and when I left my ex, I wound up in a domestic violence shelter. And you can make it with God's help, you really can. And if you've got a dream to write a book, it's no accident that you found this video. This video is for somebody out there. So it's no accident that you found it, whether it be in God's will that you find this video talking about domestic violence. You can get out. I had somebody to help me. Now, if you ask me what advice I would give for somebody that knows somebody that's she comes in with black eyes, or maybe it's a guy. Sometimes just being there for them helps out the most. Hey, paranormal. Hey, how are you? Oh, hey, Amy. How are ya? Hi. You caught me live. I'm just chattering my head off talking about my books. My cats keeps jumping up here. Miss Zelda. Doing well. Thank you, Miss Amy. Doing well. Talking about my books. This is my first live stream, so hey, here we go. Hey, might keep it going a little longer. I was going to cut it off, but since people are coming in here, hey, there we go. We were doing some funny stuff at the beginning because I was having a little bit of technical difficulties. So, Amy, I'm going to catch you up to what's going on, what's been said, and who, and what for, and how come, right? Anyway, I'm just talking about how to self-publish a book and some of the steps that I went through. Then I got to talking about the 2 books that I have published. Well, the one I have now being published, Bruises from Within. It's about domestic violence, and the reason it's called Bruises from Within, my book talks about the bruises nobody sees, such as the domestic violence that's emotional, psychological. So I just get into different aspects of that. So that's why it's called Bruises from Within. That is, Ranger did all the artwork and cover work of my picture. And that's me at the age of 25. I look like the girl next door. I haven't changed much. 3 hours stack. All right, Ranger, you're being bad. Now, my first book is out. My first book is The Shades of Grace, which is a Christian book. It tells about Christian stories. That's on Amazon.com. You can download it to Kindle, your iPad, your iTouch, the i this, the i that. But it's there. So you just look up Bruce. I'm thinking about it. You look up The Shades of Grace, and it's my picture. Kentucky Ranger did that one also. So anyway, the second book is about domestic violence. So I hope that it'll open up the conversation to people, because you know what? We really have got to start addressing this problem and start teaching our young men and young women that they deserve better in life. And being emotionally abused, any type of abuse, is wrong. And I'm hoping that this book will make a difference. It's kind of like a self-help, but it's a autobiography of everything that I went through. Because people don't understand. Because they make the judgmental statement and they criticize and say, well, why didn't you just leave? Why didn't you just leave, Karla? Why didn't you just leave? Well, I didn't have my driver's license. I didn't have any money. But finally there was a time that I did. Thank you, Ranger, for posting that. Thank you, hon. Appreciate that. It's just people don't understand they break you down psychologically. They absolutely destroy the person that you are, and that's what the mental and emotional and psychological abuse is. They play head games. And then there was a couple of chapters people wanted me to put in the book that to this day, even though it's been going on 17 years this Thanksgiving that I've been away, there's still a few things that I can't put in the book. It's just too personal. I just don't have the courage. One lady wanted me to put where I busted his head open with a frying pan. I mean, I got down on his level, and I still feel shame and guilt because I got to that. I got to that. So I just couldn't put it in there. But I did. I got even other ways, though, and I do tell about that, where I took his toothbrush and scrubbed it with the toilet when he come home drunk and showing his butt. So, you know, and anybody that says, oh, she loves to get hit, she gets excited by being hit, you better run. You better get your tissues on and run, because that statement is an asinine statement, and it's a statement that somebody is deflecting who they really are. So if anybody says that, never, ever, ever, never. Let's see. What do you have to do? Okay. Be a little more in depth, family. What are you meaning? To order the book? To order the book? Is that what you're meaning, family? Yeah. Now, Ranger, are you talking about the first book or the second book?
First book.
Yeah, after it was all said and done. Yeah.
Actually, it was more almost 6th grade, wasn't it?
No, 4. 4, hon.
It was over 4.
Well, who's counting? I'm a blonde. I can't count.
I seen it leave the bank account.
Yeah, I know. I knew.
And they kept calling. And this good is, if you'll just send us another $300, and we will have this wonderful book.
You should hear the commentary I'm getting. I don't know if you can hear it.
I can't understand you. Slow down.
Okay, Ranger, be good. She's being bad. She's being bad, 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 bad.
I thought I was talking to an AOL call center.
But anyway, I hope the book.
No offense to the Indians.
Yeah, you're going to get people who are just hush.
Who said weird? That's me, Amy. Help me, Amy. Help me. She got me tied up.
That's Ranger in the background.
Help me, Lord, have mercy. Help me.
Ranger, I'm going to get some duct tape. Anybody got some duct tape? Duct tape. Anyway, I'm trying to be serious here, but
I'm sorry.
here we got the Bluegrass Barbie and Ranger show again. Huh? We just can't be serious all the time. Yeah, you be good. He's being rotten, isn't he? No offense to anybody, just disregard what Ranger's saying in the background in case you can hear him clearly, because the mic does pick up.
I don't mean any ill to any culture. I'm just politically incorrect.
Yes, you're politically incorrect. I need some politically correct duct tape.
Don't mind me.
He's been rotten.
20 years driving a truck, CB radios do that to you.
Yeah, for sure, for sure.
10-4. I heard you, I did.
All right now, behave.
Okay, I'm sorry.
You're being bad. Oh my goodness. You're getting me off track and I'm bad enough. Okay, come on now. Be good, Ranger. Thank you, Ranger. Silence is golden, isn't it? Anyway, anybody have any questions or comments, or what do you think about my first video live stream? It's probably got some bloopers in here, but it's all good, right? What made me write the books? Well, I saw a TV show and the lady wrote about her grandbaby dying in a house fire. And I wanted to purge myself of the pain, if you will, from what I had gone through. And so the book was very therapeutic, and I said, hey, why not get my story out there? Maybe it'll help somebody. You know, you never know. And the one lady that's editing the book, I ran into her at my grocery store at Kroger's where I used to work. And she just broke down and cried. She said, oh my God, Karla, you're going to make a difference in somebody's life. You are absolutely going to make a difference. And I said, well, what'd you think about the way I wrote? And she said, Karla, I feel like I'm standing in your shoes and looking through your eyes. Some of the things that you have wrote in the book is just so touching. It will make a difference. It will. So I'm hoping it will, because my story is, my words are just like anybody else's. And I start the book out like a poem at first. My pain is your pain. My words are your words. And that's how I start out the book. Because I want you to stand, when you read my book, bye sis, love you. Love you sis. Kiss Junebug for us. I want you to stand in my shoes reading my words. And I want you to just feel every emotion that I was writing in my book. And you better have a little bit of tissues also, because at times you will just laugh and there's times you will just cry. But that lady just hugged me and she broke down and cried. She said, Karla, your book is going to really do good. And my goal is something I'm kind of hoping. Maybe it's a little vain to hope this, but I'd love to be on the Oprah Winfrey Show. Hey, never know. Never know. Y'all might see somebody you know. It could happen. So if not, it's all good. And I do plan to, when my book is published, to take my book to churches that'll have me and speak to people about domestic violence and where it starts and stuff. Because, you know, I know no relationship is ever going to be perfect, but at the same time, when you have somebody that's abusive to you, it's not good. It really hurts. It hurts you. And something that I've been thinking of, people have forgot who the silent victims are, the forgotten victims, the children that have to do with this. So maybe book 2, or excuse me, book 3. But this I hope will be a trilogy, this book, because I'm right now working on another manuscript to write about the voices that are not heard, which are the children. And so I'm going to get into a different aspect of how a child sees the abuse and how it affects them throughout their lifetime. And so Ranger, I know, will do all of my book covers and stuff because he's awesome at it. Thank you, Ranger. Shout out. Shout out. Oh, you're awesome. And I'm hoping if my book is out by November, the first weekend in November, I will, Lord willing, so say a prayer, guys. Say a prayer. I'm hoping this book will be out so I can take it to the Frankfort, Kentucky book fair. That's like a big candy store for me, because a couple of years ago I went with friends and another author, she was debuting her book, and oh my gosh, you would have thought I was in a candy store. I must have bought over $200 worth of books. And so I'm hoping I'll be one of the authors there with my book. And who knows? Maybe I'll do a live stream with Ranger's help. I was having technical difficulties with the ones with my phone, because I was trying to stream on mine. And so if not, I'll do a little bit of videoing. Lord willing, I'm believing, guys. I'm believing my book is going to be out soon, because it's on its final editing now. So writing a book is like waiting for the birth of a baby. That last week is the longest week. Wouldn't you agree, ladies? Anybody that's had kids? Wouldn't you just agree? So I'm hoping that it'll be out because I want to take my book to the domestic violence shelters in Kentucky. And if my book becomes big enough, Ranger and I will load the cats up, we'll grab us a camper, and I'll do little book tours and try to meet some people. So, wouldn't that be cool? Eh? So, anyway, if I can help one person, it would just be awesome. But I believe this is my calling and me speaking. So you guys let me know what you think. Of course, I'm sure that I'll get better in time. So I'm getting out of my comfort zone. So I'm streaming live. I'm a little bit camera shy, but you know, what can I say? Hey, welcome everybody that's in here. I have 5 people watching. Woohoo! Anyway, oh, where at? Where is it? Yeah, I'm camera shy. Ranger can tell you that. That's no lie. I'm camera shy, so I still lack in self-confidence on some things. Thank you so much. Thank you. But anyway, just doing the video off of the top of my head. Hey, who knows? Maybe I can be in Somerset and meet you and bring you an autographed copy. Hey, how about that? Wouldn't you like that, huh? And I do plan to give a couple of my books away on YouTube, and of course autographed. Of course. Yeah, I know. Old-timer moment. Hey, who knows? Hey, I lived in Texas at one time. Yes. Hey, Texas. Love Texas. Texas has got some good people there. Do I get an amen, people? Woo-hoo-hoo-hoo-hoo. Yeah, well, I lived there for a while, from 82 to 88. Awesome. Love the state. Never have seen such big skyscrapers. Of course, I was about 16 at the time. 16, 17, thereabout. I was in my teens, late teens there when I lived there. But great state, great people. And I've got stories about Texas too. Maybe that'll be another book. How I got the mother hen nickname from these Texas guys. Okay, let's do a question and answer. Anybody got any questions they want to type in to me? About abuse or about my book or anything? Yes, love Texas. Yes. And I'd say Ranger would be my chauffeur. When did I start writing? I started writing in the 90s. And how a lot of this came about, I was 10 years old and God told me, I know people are going to think this is nuts, but God told me I was going to have a ministry. And this is a part of my books. So here I am, 10, 12 years old, playing with my little stuffed animals. Another little tidbit about me. And I thought that I was going to be a preacher, you know, up in the pulpit preaching the Word of God. And it wasn't like that. So after I married Kentucky Ranger, God really started showing me my path. And this is the path I'm on. So God gave me the dream again and told me that my ministry would be, yes, I married you, Ranger. You're precious. My ministry would be through my books. And God revealed to me that my books would help people heal. And the way God said it, God said, Karla, your books, your words will help people's hearts heal. So it seems like it's falling into place. Oh, I'm the lucky one, Ranger. I'm the lucky one. Um, so things had been falling into place about me publishing my books, and God just keeps letting me know when I get off the path of where He wants me to be. I want people to be empowered and just start talking about stuff that a lot of people don't talk about. A lot of people are groomed when they're children not to speak about domestic violence, even childhood abuse. And I want to bring a light to it and let my light shine in everybody's life that picks up my books. And each time that I would, thank you, Paranormal, you're precious. God bless you, sweetie. Uh, I I prayed over this manuscript, Bruises from Within, and I prayed over the other manuscript. I'm just me, sweetie. I'm very humbled. God has humbled me. I'm just plain and simple. Thank you for the compliment so much. I just prayed over both of my books, and this book, hey, see ya, family. Hey, drive safely, hon. You take care. Thank you for being here. I prayed over these books, and I said, God, let this manuscript somehow reach out and touch someone through my words and through your words. And I just want my books to be a blessing to people and to touch somebody. So it's not a coincidence people are finding me. They're coming out everywhere. But getting back to the story about the lady that was telling me about the editing job she was doing on my book. And she said, Karla, you are telling my story. You are telling so many stories. And I'm trying to just open up a dialect so people will just start talking about this, because it really needs to be brought out. Now, I don't have the answers to everything, so everything that I did and I said in my book may not be the answers for some people, but I do know a lot of things. I do know, and I try to stress this in my book by writing, if you're going to leave an abusive relationship, don't walk up to that person and say, hey, I'm out of here, I'm leaving, because that puts your life more so at risk for being murdered, and your children. And you see it all the times on the news. You know, they were having marital issues and she was wanting to leave, and they went off on a, quote, second honeymoon, and guess what? They find her dead. So when someone is leaving an abusive relationship, boy, the odds go up that the person could die. And there's many, many reasons why these risk factors go up. And you've got to walk like you're walking on glass. And what I did, I'll tell you, it's a little bit comical, but it's not. I'm putting the comical in it. But my landlady, she came over, God bless her. God sent her to help me. And thank you, Ada, for helping me. I know she'll see this video because I'll definitely show it to her. She helped me leave. And if somebody's ever needing help, that's when they're needing help. And I didn't have any money. I mean, I had no money to my name. When I went to the women's shelter, I write about the help that's out there, the transitional housing, where the states, whatever state you're from. Now, the state I was in the book was Florida. Oops. But anyway, people don't know what help is out there, so you've got to inquire. So I want my book to be a tool that can help. Hey, wait a minute. Maybe I can get help, because my ex always told me, nobody will ever want you. You've got a kid. And that's just wrong. There's many men out there who will step up to the plate, or women, if you're gay or anything like that. If you have a child, there's always going to be somebody to step up to the plate and help you. And there's good people still out there, so have faith in people. And I just write about some of the ladies that was in the women's shelter. It could curl your hair, some of the stories I could tell you. That would be probably more books. But domestic abuse, no matter if it's emotional, financial, whatever it is, it's really serious. And, I just don't know how to convey that it's a issue that we've got to start addressing. We've got to start making changes to the law. Because when they say, if I can't have you, no one can, that's a death threat. And they're serious about it. So if you do go to leave, my advice would be, try to do it very discreetly. Sometimes you may only be able to get out with the clothes on your back, which that's what I did. And you have to be careful who you talk to, because maybe they'll get the word back to your husband, boyfriend, girlfriend, whoever the abuser is. You've got to be really careful. And it's a very serious and dangerous time to leave a relationship. But this is what I did when I left. My landlady, she was helping me, and we were talking to the crisis shelter on the phone. Now, there's bits and pieces of that day I don't remember. But I was so upset with everything. I wanted to commit suicide. I did. But I didn't. I didn't try that. And she told me, she says, Karla, we are going to get you out of here today, because I just crumbled in the floor. I didn't know what to do. I had a little girl. It's like, what am I going to do? She was 8 years old at the time. And believe me, they can help you. I got on food stamps. That's why I never, ever, or do my best never to judge anybody that's got on welfare of any type. Because I'll tell you why. Anybody that's on food stamps or medical assistance of any kind, don't judge them, because you don't know what they're going through. Because I had people that would throw me looks because I would get out my food stamp card and get groceries for me and my daughter. I didn't have anybody paying my bills. And when I left him, and after I was homeless for 6 months in that women's shelter, I had to move into a part of town that was really bad. It was, they would call it the Section 8 apartments or housing projects. And my daughter and we were just terrified, because there was drugs all over that neighborhood. It wasn't safe. There were shootings all the time. It was really a bad neighborhood. But with God's grace, I went to school. I was trying to get my education. But due to my dyslexia, I really had a lot of problems. I still don't have my education. But that's okay. That's okay. God will provide, and I will get my education. I will not give up, ever. I will persevere. So if I can't get up the rubber tree, I'll go around it, under it, something. I will get there with it, because I made it out alive and safe. And I know anybody else can. And anybody that's on assistance of any kind, we need more compassion for people. Because working at Kroger's, there was one fella that worked, and they're this, they're that. And I looked at him, well, thank you so much. Thank you so much. That means a lot. You're precious for saying that. He was always cutting down people, and I saw his girlfriend one day. I won't mention who he is. Of course, I doubt that he'll ever see this, but it's all good. I saw his live-in girlfriend, and she had a black eye, and I thought to myself, boy, you're something else, that you could actually hit her. But I didn't say anything because I didn't want him to get up in my face, and because it's tragic when people feel like they have to batter. They have to. And it's tragic. So anyway, he was carrying on one day because a lady come in with her children and what have you. She was impoverished and she had food stamps, and I were taking care of her groceries, bagging them and stuff. And oh, here comes the white trash in with food stamps. No. And I looked at him and I said, you know, you really shouldn't judge. You don't know what she's going through. And I looked at her body language and I thought, I bet she's in an abusive relationship. And it's, you know, after you've been through what I've been through, you can spot the body language a lot of times. And indeed, I agree with you. Thank you. It just galls me that people judge, and people do judge, and I don't know who can be the worst, the sinners or the Christians. No offense to anybody, what I'm saying, okay? So don't take that seriously. I'm just brutally honest, because people are too judgmental in this world, and people need a lot more empathy and compassion. Amen, honey. Amen. Paranormal. Well, it looks like a lot of them's gone out, but it's all good. We're still here and we'll still chat. Ranger, you going to sleep on me?
No, I'm trying to do something.
Oh, he's trying to do something, so okie doke. No, I didn't duct tape him. No. But, you know, people that's never been through abuse of any kind don't understand why we stay. I stayed because of fear. I stayed because I believed all the lies he told me. Nobody would want me. I was fat. I was ugly. Nobody would want me because I had a child. Nobody, you know, I was stupid, you know. I mean, I could go on and on the lies they will tell you. And you know what I have learned? I have learned that fear will keep you in a cell. Fear will keep you in a place of bondage and abuse. So that's just my thoughts on it, on abuse. So anyway, boy, people are missing out, don't you think? They're missing out me yammering on. But I hope people can start being more compassionate, because that's what this world really needs, a little bit of more love and compassion. And if you got the desire, you got the dream to write a book, just go for it. Go for the gusto. So you want me to keep yammering on? Huh?
Who's left?
Paranormal. That's Ranger asking who's left in the chat room.
Amy's cool.
Hey, Amy. Hey, one day, we'll get to meet one day, girl. We'll get to meet, and I bet you we'll hang out, and we'll tell everybody else go home, and we'll close down any restaurant we're at, right? Chatting and stuff. But have you ever been through domestic violence, if I may ask something so personal? Have you ever been through or known anybody that was in domestic violence, if I may ask? Yeah, it's a very tough thing, especially if you've never been through emotional abuse. But emotional abuse will turn physical. I can attest to that. Now, I'll tell you, my ex used to say he would slap me across the face, and I would confront him, which you got to be careful. You got to walk on eggshells, because when they're wound up, you know, you have to try to diffuse it a little bit. And he'd look at me and say, "Shorty," that's what he called me because I'm 5'2". "Shorty, I didn't hit you. I just backhanded you because you have a smart mouth. It's like, woo, woo. And I started believing that wasn't abuse because he slapped me and he shoved me. He would get, when he'd come home and attack me, he would be drunk and he would wrap his hands around my throat, slam me up against the wall. But that's not violence, he would tell me. I'm just roughing you up so you know who's boss. Yeah, so. And what they do is, Amy, they brainwash you. And after a while, 20 years I lived with that man. 20 years. 20 years. I was 36 when I left. And people don't understand because they break you down psychologically. And that's how it starts. He would tell me what to wear. You're too fat. You can't wear that. And he started the control. I was a teenager. And I just, how I think you can help, the people want to leave, they really do. And even if they'll open up to a lot of the stuff, the reason that they don't always open up, and I'm speaking from my life and what I went through, I didn't open up because I was ashamed and I was programmed not to open up. It's nobody's business what happens in this house, what goes on in this house. And so when you hear stuff like that for 20 years, you're on autopilot, and that's what you do. You keep it to yourself and plus you're ashamed. The pain, the shame, it's just so painful. And I would suggest anybody that does get out of domestic violence, find you a counselor, find you a psychiatrist, if you can. Find an entrusted friend that you can talk to, that you can vent, because people just don't understand, because it stays bottled up so bad what you're going through, and it's horrendous, the psychological abuse. And I'll tell you another really I'm losing my words, time for volatility, I think is the right word I'm looking for. Things to get really bad is when somebody becomes pregnant in the relationship. I got one question. If, and this goes to my relationship with Roy, if you're pregnant expecting your first baby and you can't tell him, hey, guess what, sweetie, we're going to have a baby, there's something wrong with that relationship. Because when I found out I was pregnant with Victoria, Ninja Bunny, I was rehearsing in my head what to say. And, there's something seriously wrong when you can't tell the one that you love that you're pregnant with their baby. There's something wrong there. Because you should be able to talk about anything. God gave you hindsight. Yeah, your ex was a real, God love her. Ooh, pray for that woman. Yeah, Ranger, you need to do a live stream on that one. But it's just crazy, some of the stuff. I can tell you about a lady that was in the women's shelter, and she was half black and half white, and that doesn't really have anything to do with anything, but the lady, she was in her 20s. She's a heavy-set gal, and she had real beautiful, full lips. Well, when she came in, she had a 6-week-old brand new baby. She had a bandage across her mouth. And I thought, oh, how odd. how odd. And I said, I've never seen anybody wear a bandage over your mouth. And I thought, something must have bad happened. So I went up to her and I spoke to her and I said, honey, if you don't mind me asking, what happened to your lip? And she pulled the bandage off, and I was just horrified. Her lip had had a piece right down here taken out, you know, like you bite into a cookie. I said, what monster did that to you? And she told me, she says, my husband, he was hyped up on crack or something. I don't know what he was hyped up on, but he was hyped up on drugs. And he bit a piece out of her lip. See how my lips are? She had a piece actually bit out of her lip. And she had blood all over her shirt. And I said, oh, Lord Jesus, honey, that's horrible. And she told me, she says, oh, Ranger, be nice. Behave. She told me that she went to the police department, and the police officer just about lost his lunch when he saw that. He just about passed out because he couldn't believe somebody could be that animalistic. And it was horrendous. And she says, Karla, I'm hoping and I'm praying, we're all praying that I don't have to have plastic surgery on my lip. Yeah, it was horrendous. She said he did that right in front of her baby. And so she stayed in the shelter about as long as I did. And her lip, all I can say, it was a miracle, because she should have to have plastic surgery, because her lip, don't know how it happened, but it filled back in, because she actually had a piece, and she had a cell phone, and she took pictures, and they said that the reason she took the pictures, she said that she wanted to document that, so when they went to court, and it was just, oh, horrendous. You would have thought somebody had got stabbed to death. I mean, it was horrendous. It's like, oh. So I'm hoping that that lady has gotten out of that relationship and really stayed out of it. She's about 10 years younger than me, so I'm praying that God has guided her to stay out of a relationship like that. But something that another thing that's on my mind about domestic violence relationships, when a person gets out of domestic violence, they tend to go back. You're so vulnerable to go back. And I can attest to that, because a week after I left, oh, let me tell you how I left. I left him a note saying I was going to Walmart's. Never come back from Walmart's. And guess what day that just happened to be? His birthday. The next day was Thanksgiving. So, woo! Have mercy. Happy birthday. I guess he was probably thinking, yeah, I'm a real witch for doing that, but, you know, I had to do what I had to do. But it's honestly, it's not easy. And that's why I say the first 2 or 3 years, don't get in a relationship with anybody, because I'll tell you why. Because it's like a neon sign you have over your head, because the abusers will come out of the woodwork. I had guys asking me, oh, baby, you don't know what you're missing. Do you want to go out? Nope, leave me alone, leave me alone. I've had enough of men, leave me alone. And I went from a size 18 down to a size 10. So I lost quite a bit of weight during this process, quite a bit. So it's not easy. In those first couple of years after you leave, do your best to stay away from them, because it's too easy to get caught back up in another abusive relationship. It's just horrible. It's so difficult. Welcome to everybody. I see 3 people in my chat room. Welcome. I'm talking about domestic violence and how I've published my book, and it's due out soon. So it will be on Amazon, the new one. So it is. It's so difficult to help somebody that's in domestic violence, and sometimes it's just a good thing just to listen to them, because if they're so afraid, it's almost going to take a real act of Congress, so to speak, to get them convinced. And maybe I think if they read my book, especially what I wrote about the doctor that changed my life. This doctor took me to the morgue. I wound up in the hospital the day that I left, and I won't tell you everything that happened, but the doctor did something that is considered very unethical, and he really made a believer out of me. So that's why I say, if you read that chapter, that's in the first couple chapters, believe me, that will make a difference in somebody's life. If no other reason, then read that chapter, because it will change the way you perceive staying with somebody that could love you to death. And love's not worth dying for. So I'm just going to put it out there. Love is absolutely not worth dying for. It's not. Because love is not hurtful. Love does not batter. Love is good. Love, you know. And when people read what the doctor did, it'll probably surprise you, because he could have lost his medical license for the way he went about it. But you know what? It gave me the wake-up call I needed. And it's like, he told me, he says, Karla, you're a crappy mother. You love this man and you would rather die to stay with him. I'll bet you'll go right back to him. And he did. He gave me what for. And I get very descriptive in writing about the doctor that changed my life. Now, a lot of people may think the further chapters may contradict that chapter, but I want people to see just how easy it is, because I did get in another abusive relationship, and that relationship was really physical abuse. So I want people to see my brutal honesty, because I'm just human, just like everybody else. And yes, I did get in another abusive relationship, because I had no place to go right after I got out of the women's shelter. I had no family. He had isolated me from everybody I knew, and I had no friends. So that's part of the isolation and abuse game. And you know, you don't need friends. That's what they'll say to you, but it's not so. You need people in your life. You need family. And he would tell me that I couldn't talk to male family members. Why is that? You know, I'm not a tramp, you know, but it's just so crazy how deep the control gets. And they control you. I write about the controlling. Just like the mini blinds, this was kind of crazy. He would put scotch tape all up and down the windows to know if I had opened up the window blinds. Isn't that crazy? I mean, some of the stuff he did was just nuts, just totally nuts. But one thing I'll say is why a person is in danger when they do leave, and especially if the abuser figures out, oh, wait a minute, she's going to leave me. I'll tell you an example what happened with me. I had my bag pack under the bed. Well, he saw the suitcase. Oh, I thought I was going to die and have a heart attack and fall through the floor. because he pulled it out and said, "What is this?" He dumps it out. "Are you planning to leave me?" And thank God that I had said what was just a total blatant lie. "Oh, you know how bad I am at housekeeping. I just put stuff in there, and that's all that is." Excuse me. But anyway, it's just it's really it's just insane. And my story, some of my stuff with my abuse, ain't nothing compared to some of the stories the ladies were telling me at the domestic violence shelter. And it absolutely will humble you to read my story. And does anybody have any questions? Any questions, anybody? Love to know your thoughts. I'm still yammering. Now you know the face is behind the giggle of the what's in the crate. Oh. But I'll tell you, it's not easy, because honestly, I thought about going back to him. And then one of the counselors sat me down. Does the book cover both abusive relationships? Both books? Oh, the Bruises from Within, yes, does cover both relationships, the abuse. Yes, yes, yes. And Kentucky Ranger is the one who rescued me from that, and he brought me back to my hometown of Kentucky. And that's in the book too. That's really good. He's a good one. Hey Ranger, you gone to sleep on me? Have to keep checking with him, make sure he ain't gone to sleep on me. I just wanted your standpoint on how you got out of the second. Kentucky Ranger, we had found each other through classmates.com.
We knew each other in high school.
We knew each other in high school. Yeah, he's awesome. Hey, Ranger, you ought to read the comments. Ha ha. Your ears burning? Or I should say your eyes burning? You're being talked about. He really is. I had found him via classmates.com. I'd known him back in high school. And he's in the book too. You'll find out. So he was 19 and I was 16. Yeah, we giving him the big head. Yes, we are. Yes, indeed. He's a sweetie. He came and got my daughter and I, and he moved us back to our home state. And we had been talking on the computer and on the phone. We'd been talking for about a year, and he was my high school best friend, and that's a couple of chapters in itself, him coming to get us. But he's an awesome guy. He adopted my daughter. Now she's our daughter, and Ninja Bunny, and he's a good dad to her. And of course, she's a good girl too. So I write about that also. But I just want people to know, hey, the book, I'm not perfect, neither is anybody else, and I know that the things that I've gone through is different than everybody else, but you really, honestly, you can make it. You can make it. Like I say, I've got my driver's license now, and I'm working on my next book, and I've got 6 books in my head to write. One about Karla has dyslexia. The first book is already out. It's on Amazon, The Shades of Grace. If you just click that link, you can find the book. And if I'm repeating myself, just forgive me, because I don't know if new people pop in here or what have you. You know, I hope I inspired somebody to get out, maybe write a book. You know, whatever your dream is in life, go for it, because you never know. Look at me. I never really completed my dream of publishing a book. Thank you for purchasing that. And if you would like it autographed, let me know. Let me know. You can get up with Ranger and give us your P.O. box number. Send it to me and I'll send it back to you. And we'll make sure that it gets autographed if you'd like an autographed copy. Just figure out, add that in. But just go for your dreams. Oh, okay, okay. Now the Bruises from Within is not out yet, so anytime now. I'm praying that it's any day now. I'm pacing the floor, metaphorically, but I would most certainly send it to you, autographed, and I enjoy life. I've had a lot of therapy to get through this, because even after you get out of the abuse, there's things that, like post-traumatic stress, you'll have flashbacks, you'll have triggers. So to think that you'll heal up in a year or two, sometimes it takes longer. It's been going on 17 years now since I left the abusive relationship that I was in. And with God's grace, I have made it this far. And the best I can do is take notes on life and share them with everybody, because I believe I can make a difference, one person at a time. And you know what? We all can make a difference in the world. And I know the world will never be perfect, nor will relationships, people. But you know, we got to start someplace. You know what I mean? I will let you know, Amy, when Bruises from Within is out. I will do a live stream with Ranger's production assistants, and I'll let you know everything going on with the book. I'll do more live streams when the book is out. I'll also be... you got to keep talking. so you let me know when Rob comes in, okay? Goodness, Donald, you're going to have me on here. I mean, Ranger. Well, who's Rob? See if you can't message him, Ranger. But anyway, I plan to do a lot with this book. You know, I'd like to get the book in the Walmarts and stuff, where I know a lot of people can, you know, shop at Walmarts. Hey, thank you so much, sweetie. You're a blessing. Thank you for the compliments, honey. I'm just rambling on. I think you would make a great inspirational speaker. Hey, thank you so much. Thank you. I'm hoping that I can make a difference in somebody's life. You know, this book may not be for everybody, but you know, you got to start somewhere, you know. Yeah. Tell Rob, hi, Kentucky. Is Rob on his way, Ranger?
No,
he's on lunch. Oh, he's on lunch. Okay. Well, what time's he get off? Well, I don't know how long to ramble. But I just believe that my book will be good. Hold on, let me pause for just a second, because I want to show you something. So I'm going to pause for just a second. Ow, 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 ow. Got the chair too close. I'll be right back. Okay, I'm back. Let me see. This is the cover of my first book. Can you see it? Ta-da! What you think? My first book. What you think, guys? Ranger did all the work. Isn't he awesome? Isn't that gorgeous? Whoops, the green's showing up kind of weird. But anyway. So, whoops. That's my first book. Who knows? It's a short read, like I say. It's a short read, the book is. But it's a good book. We'll see it again. See? Here we go. Whoop. The green's kind of messed up. Ranger did that work. And at first, when I saw it, I didn't like it. I said, I don't know about that. He said, well, I want your book to stand out. So, that's my first book. It's on Amazon. Yes. Yes. Who knows? Maybe I might... Oh, he is talented. He's awesome. I may, if Ranger will help me, maybe give that poster away to somebody and autograph it. So, get Ranger's help on that. So, who knows? Now I'm back. So, yeah, he is awesome. What we did on that picture is I was standing by my dogwood tree. And I have a dogwood tree that's two colors. Oh, Miss Betty's back. Hi, Miss Betty. Hello, Miss Betty. Let's see if I can get you to say hi. Ow, 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 Mama. Ow, ow, ow. Let's see. There's Miss Betty. There's Miss Betty. Come on, Miss Betty. I have to turn around that way. There we go. There's Miss Betty. Oh, Miss Precious. Oh, I know, Mama. Come on, look at the camera. Oh, say hi. Say hi, everybody. Oops, that's Miss Betty, my big baby. My big darling. Yes. She says hi. She's got a tail waving at you. Oh, she's a big girl. Now lay down, Miss Betty. Lay down. Lay down, baby. Lay down. Come on, Mama. Come on. She's trying to get on my shoulder. If I can get her to get on the back of my chair. Let me see. Without getting scratched up. Here, baby. Here. Sit right there. Come on. Let's not show everybody your butt. Okay. This is the way we usually sit when Mama's watching TV. So, anyway, everybody, if we got any newbies in here. Huh? All right. Anyway, I'll just talk about Miss Betty for a while. Miss Betty says hello. Hi, guys. Come on, Miss Betty. Don't make me turn my back. Okay, come on, Mama. Come on. Say cheese. Anyway, she's so sweet. She's got some pretty emerald green eyes. Oh, isn't she pretty? Say hi. Hi, Miss Betty. We call her Old Black Betty. So, I figured, well, let's just kind of change it a little bit to Miss Betty. Because I know people may be... thinking we're silly. But anyway. All right, Miss Betty. Come on. Okay, I will let you. Come on. No, don't touch the mic. She's wanting to touch the mic. Oh, I got a cat hair in my mouth. Ugh. All right. I love you too, Miss Betty. Miss Betty's showing me the love. I love you too, Miss B. She's a good mama cat. She's never had kittens that I know of. Because we brought her in the house, her story, her and her sister. Zelda's the gray cat with the bright pink collar. I had to put a bright pink collar on her because I kept letting the wrong cat out. Because we have two gray cats. And one is a tomcat, and everybody's been fixed except for Miko. So Miko, the girls stay in the house and the boy goes out when he needs to. Because if not, he becomes Mr. Feisty. He will look at me and, I don't know, he gets this look across his face. Huh? Is everybody coming in? Okay, so it's about time. Your daughter wants to be an author. Oh, yeah, okay. Hi, Wicked. Hello, hello, hello. It's Miss Kentucky Ranger here. Hi. Welcome, guys. Welcome. Hi. Hold the door open for everybody. Come on in. Yes, I'm talking about my book, talking about cats, talking about how I got my books published. Well, you know, Paranormal, I would suggest just tell her she's got this. She can do this. Tell her you personally know a author, me, Karla. Thank you, thank you. Thank you for the sub. What's that mean to sub, y'all?
Subscribe.
Oh, okay, my bad. Karla's got to learn all this lingo. Lordy, lordy, lordy. Well, tell her my advice. Go for your dream. Go for it. Google it. And if I can give you any helpful advice, feel free to ask me any questions. Now, it's my big dream is on my books are to get a big publishing company where I could submit my books and I don't have to pay to have them published. That's right now what I'm doing. It's called self-publishing. And that's a little tricky, but you have to really do your homework on books. Now, like I said, Ex Libris is good and it's bad. Let me show my poster of my first book again. Span, we got some new folks in here. Welcome, everybody. My poster. That's my first book, The Shades of Grace. Kentucky Ranger did the book. It's on Amazon.com. Here we go. Okay, who's confused? Who's got the confusing look, Paranormal? But anyway, Kentucky Ranger did all the artwork on this book also. Now, it's already out. So, you go to Amazon.com. Ranger, that's your cue to post up the link again. The Shades of Grace is my first book. I'll have to have it taken down and re-edited because it does have grammatical errors. What is self-publishing? That's where you pay somebody to publish your book, such as, let me give you an example. Self-publishing means you find a publishing company, let's say Ex Libris, the way I did, and I paid them $3,000 and then $3,000 to publish my book. They were supposed to edit it. Hey, how you doing? How you doing, Michigan? Hey, what's happening, everybody? Hi, guys. Welcome, everybody. Whoever's coming new, welcome, guys. And anyway, I went through self-publishing, which a lot of book companies won't take your books. When you submit the manuscript, they won't publish them unless, hey, welcome, hey, glad you found me, hey, great. They won't publish your books until you've established yourself, established a name. And what I would do is I paid them to publish my book. Well, they didn't live up to everything in the agreement. Meaning, you know, if you got someone that's good at grammar and things like that, that can edit your book, they're the company for you. But if you're dyslexic like I am and you have a lot of spelling errors, they're not the best because they haven't done a very good job with mine. So do forgive the grammar errors, but they're still in the first book. So The Shades of Grace. Now, my second book, guys, for everybody that came in, is about domestic violence. And I write about how I struggled to get out. I wrote about all the obstacles I had to face. getting out. And the reason my book is called Bruises from Within, I'm talking about the abuse that people don't see the scars and the bruises for. Oh, fantastic. Fantastic. Yeah, nice. Nice, Ed. Nice. I'll talk about the emotional abuses, and I talk about a different aspect, but it all leads down to one thing. The abuse, it psychologically and mentally, all the above, it scars you. Because if people could see emotional abuse as scars like black and blue, can you imagine what my book cover would look like? I would probably be really scary, because a lot of people just don't think about emotional abuse. And it's, men get abused emotionally, and it's really a bad thing, abuse. But I write about it, and I write about the things that's out there to help, why people stay in abusive relationships. I write all about the aspects of that. Ranger did thank you, Ranger, did all of my artwork for the cover, front and back of both books. That's a picture of me at the age of 25. I was looking into a mirror, but he took the picture and he busted it like it was a busted mirror, and it really just turned out good. Oh, indeed, I agree with you, Ed. I agree 100%, because abuse, even after you leave, you need counseling, because there's post-traumatic stress, which I suffer from still to this day, even though it's been 17 years. People just don't really understand. I believe that it actually, when you're in abuse like that, emotional abuse, it changes the wiring on how you think. If you will, victimization thinking, I call it in the book. And I write all about that. And if you want to open up the door, open up the conversation, everybody knows somebody in their family, whether it's friends, co-workers, that you suspect, or maybe you see them come in with a black eye. Oh, I fell down, I ran into the doorknob, or you know what I mean? It's an epidemic of abuse, and we really got to put it on the table and start talking about it, and start changing the way we raise our children. And I'm working on book number 3, which will be the second part of Bruises from Within, but it will be a trilogy onto this book. And I'm going to be writing about the forgotten victims of the abuse, the ones that are not heard, the children's aspect, how it affects them psychologically. So there's going to be more books off of this book. So we will have a part 2. I think I'll keep it Bruises from Within, and work from that one to let people know that it's a trilogy off of this book. But I really think people needs to start talking about abuse. And my abuse got physical the last 5-6 years before I left, and it's crazy the things that they do to keep you in control, and it's about control and dominance and abuse. Hi, Miko. Have another kitty cat, another little visitor. Maybe she'll meow and say hi. Miko, she's my little bobtail cat. So Betty and Zelda have put their tails across, and Ben. But anyway, with this book, I plan to take it to the domestic violence shelters in Kentucky. And hi, Miko. Hello, Miko. She's my little tiny bobtail. She is so precious. Yeah, so you probably won't see her tail because she's got maybe just a little nub. But I just want people to start talking about this subject. You know, one of the things I always say, let's give them something to talk about. Let's talk about this. Oh, I got somebody at the door. Good Lord. Who's at the door, Ranger?
Ninja Bunny.
Ninja Bunny, tell Ninja to come on in. My daughter's here. Yay, guys.
Meet the daughter.
Y'all want to meet my daughter? You got to drag her over here. Come here, Ninja Bunny. Come meet everybody. And anyway, I left back in 2001 of the domestic violence, and I wound up in a women's show. Come here, Ninja Bunny. Come here. Stick your head over here and say howdy.
Hang on.
Your father commands you go say howdy.
Come say howdy.
Immediately.
Hang on.
Ranger's just carrying on in the background. But anyway, I want to be an advocate of domestic violence and to speak about it a little bit at a time, starting out going to churches and just letting people know, hey, you know what? You're not alone. In domestic violence, you're not alone. You're not the only survivor out here. And I don't call myself a victim. I say I'm a survivor because I've persevered. And it's difficult being homeless with a little 8-year-old girl. Here comes this little girl, but she's older now, of course. It was 17 years ago, and Kentucky Ranger adopted her. He's awesome. He was my high school best friend. He's got a couple of chapters in this book. So I'm telling you, I believe this book can really bless somebody out there or just give you hope if you're in this kind of situation. So I'm hoping. Come here, Ninja Bunny. Who you got? She got a little bit. Come on, over this way.
Over which way?
This is Ninja Bunny and Little Bear. Come on, duck down a little bit. So, see, don't she look like a kid? That's Victoria, actually, a.k.a. Victoria. That's her real name. Wave to everybody and tell everybody hello.
Hi.
Don't she look like she's 15 or 12? She's actually 24. Her birthday's coming up. Ooh.
Oh, fine.
Okay, let Little Bear sit there. Hey, they say hi, so wave back. She's a good girl. I think she's been off all day. She works at the dollar store. She's a good girl. Here comes Little Bear.
It's kind of warm out there.
I'll bet. You look hot. Did you walk?
Yeah.
Oh, gosh. From the dollar store?
No.
Oh, my. Yeah. She got some good jeans. Mama. Yeah, she's ornery. Amen, Ranger, but she's a good ornery. You want to sit here?
Sure.
Well, come on. Sit right there, darling. Here, I'll scooch over. This is my daughter, everybody. It's Victoria, a.k.a. Ninja Bunny.
Hey, what are you doing?
50.
Hey.
Oh, you're
What?
talking about Tori? That's her other nickname. Oops. You got to come over this way. Little Bear's tearing something up, so if you hear shredding in the background. I'm 53
Bear.
going on it in December.
Over here.
50 ain't fatal, honey. I'm 52, and I'm proud of it.
I think the bottom of my pants got
See?
wet.
Can't see. Can't see without my glasses. Hey, everybody.
What are you doing?
Victoria's a beautiful name. That's what we call her, Tori, also. Yep. She's a good one. She's a sweet girl. You all right? Did you get you a Pepsi? Grab you a Pepsi.
I was going to.
Yeah, go get you a Pepsi, darling. Go for it.
Dang, I changed color like a chameleon.
Hey, it's all good. It's all good, darling.
Hooray for being part ginger.
Yeah, you got some ginger in you. We'll get some Irish in our family. But anyway,
Let's go.
Victoria was younger. She was 8 years old when I left a domestic situation, and it's made her stronger. And you know, it's also given me more book notes, thinking about what she went through and stuff. And you know, when we stay in domestic violence, we teach our children what their worth is. And a lot of people, I don't think, see that or understand that or just don't think about that. I love to you, Michigan. It was awesome talking to you earlier. And fix that. The green screen. Watch, don't knock it over. We teach our children their self-worth And we don't understand the seeds we're sowing by staying in domestic violence. Whether you're a single father or single mother, we don't understand. Honey, what are you doing back there?
I was putting something back.
Okay, but you were tearing the curtain. Anyway, we don't realize the things. See ya, Michigan Gander. I can't read. Blondie can't read. Anyway, we just don't understand the messages we're teaching our children. See, my mother stayed with my father. He was abusive. He was controlling, and that's another book. But what I taught my daughter by staying with my ex was that's her worth, because she got in an abusive relationship. She didn't tell us a lot, but I feel like the relationship with the young man before the one she's with now, he's a good young man. She got into a abusive relationship, and praise God, we helped get her out of that. And when we stay as mother with an abusive man, it really confuses young people. Just like if a little boy or a little girl sees mama getting smacked, and then mom and dad then make up, kiss and make up and stuff, they don't understand what love is. But that is the message we are sending our children. And young girls, they will pick out men that are like their fathers, their biological fathers and stuff. And they follow our footsteps. You can trace it back in your family, okay? Your mom, your grandma, your great-grandma, and all of them. What kind of men were they married to? Were they married to the alcoholics? Were they married to the abusers? Who were they married to? And see, also in our culture, Christianity, and I'm speaking from my background, now not all teach this, but a lot do, till death do you part, and getting a divorce is looked down on. And I know a lot of people could relate to that. Do I have an amen? Anybody agree with what I just said? Give me some comments. I could also see how kids to make it's okay. Exactly. Amen, Ed. Yep. Because, see, the little boy sees daddy punch mommy, and then the next thing he sees is mommy and daddy, going to the bedroom, cuddling and stuff. Filling out taxes, we call it. We all have the little code words for, playing pinochle. But it really confuses kids. And when I was in the domestic violence shelter for 6 months, homeless with my daughter, we had a man that was in there, and it surprised me. It just opened up my eyes. I was 36 years old, and it just surprised me. Oh, wait a minute. Men don't get abused. Oh, yeah, they do. He came in, and he had 2 black eyes. So he says, well, she's 100 pounds soaking wet, but she can kick like a mule and hit as bad as a man. And, it's not really a joking matter, because I think domestic violence with men that are battered, whether it's being battered or emotionally, I think is under reported. Because can you imagine you being this big burly guy and you go to the police station? She beat the fire out of me. I want an EPO. What kind of little girl are you that you didn't punch her back? In society, we've got to change the way we think about domestic violence, whether it be for men or for women. Because nobody owns you but Jesus Christ or whomever you believe in. Now, some people might be atheists listening here, and it's okay. Excuse me. Pepsi time. But I just want people to know there is help out there, even for men that are battered. And it's no joking matter. And be leery of anybody telling jokes. Hey, what did the blonde say when she got the, you know what, crap that kicked out of her? You know, beware of people that tells jokes like that, because birds of a feather stick together. And I find that saying really true. Anybody have any questions for me? Come on, hold your hand up. Type. Type, guys. What's some questions? I love Q&A, guys. Just let me know what you think about what I'm talking about. Does it hit home with anybody? And you know, I believe a lot of cultures teach that women are property, and especially like in the Middle East and different countries. Now, not all, okay, because there is the gray line that there are good people all over the United States and in different countries. So I don't want anybody offended by what I'm saying, but I'm just throwing a blanket statement out there a little bit. But I do believe that some families believe in certain ways. Huh?
I got you some more moderators.
Oh, good deal. How'd you do that?
What I was doing, I have to.
Oh, okay. That'll work. Hey, Ed, you're my moderator. I got some moderators. Yay! Feel like bodyguards, guys. But I've never been abused, but I've seen many other people. Yeah. And it's just like me with my family. Our family was very, what's the word? Very raised to be in the church and stuff. I lost my vocabulary word. Boop. Had to hit myself in the back of the head. I was raised not to talk about this kind of stuff. Did you ever have contact or? Oh yeah, he followed me from Florida here. And you talking about scary? That'll probably be in book number 2. God bless you too, huh? That spell check stuff. You should see some of the spell check it does on me. Especially talking on my phone. Yeah, I can relate there. But my ex, oh my gosh. And this is something that I think we need to change. We need to change the law about domestic violence. Because when I was living in the women's shelter, Will your wrenches was grace and craziness. Oh, you're bad. You're rotten, Ranger. Behave. Be a good boy. Come on now. We need to change the laws because we had a paralegal to come to the women's shelter in Florida. That's where I was at with my daughter. And I'm going to explode. Boop. Hold on just a second. Let me get that alarm turned off. Let's see. Surely it's not 7 o'clock.
No, it's 6.
Oh, it's 6. I don't know why it's up. I usually take my blood pressure medicine at 7. Anyway, he is so bad today. He is so bad. We need to change the laws about stalking and make them more in-depth. The lady I was talking about, they urged all the ladies and the gentlemen to talk about to the legal aid if we needed an EPO. And I was talking to her about my situation. Well, my ex had said, well, it's bees like you. Y'all know what I'm trying to say. The witch word with the B. With bees like you guys, see, I want to keep this G-rated, okay, in case people have children watching or even listening to it. With bees like you, men blow buildings up and go postal. You're the reason why. He said that to me before I left him, a week before I left. And I told that to the lady, and the lady says, well, darling, he's got to lay a hand on you before, we can get you a EPO on the guy. I mean, I was terrified of the guy. And yeah, I've ran into him a time or two because we do live in a small town. I claim Lexington, but we're real close to Lexington, and because we had a death in the family, and it was Victoria's grandmother, which was his mother, and she really favored us. And I walked in the funeral home with his older brother, David, and I was kind of scared, because I hadn't really had much face-to-face with him since I had left, and he had came down here to Kentucky from Florida, or well, excuse me, up here. Blonde with directions. Which way did it go? Anyway, I walked in the funeral home with his oldest brother, which he always favored us. And oh, thank you, Ranger, for posting that. God bless, honey. You think of everything. You're a sweetie pie. Anyway, I walked in the funeral home with his oldest brother. Now, my daughter, I can't remember at the time how old she was. I think she was close to 20 at the time. And she had a step brother that was there. His oldest son by a different mother. He had 3 children with 3 different wives. And he believed that's what made him a good parent, because he fathered children. But to be a parent, you have to be in the child's life. You have to, do things that parents do with their kids. I couldn't get him to be a part of her life. He walked away from us. And he's living in the next town, actually. He's living in Winchester. So, but I've yet to really bump into him very often. I've maybe seen him a couple of times. But the closest I came to talking with my ex was when we were at the funeral home. And I told his brother that him and I weren't together. I refuse to say his name. more than just slander reasons or whatever, but I just refuse to say his name. I call him Race Car Roy, and that's got a story behind that too. But anyway, I talked to his brother before we walked in because I wanted to pay my respects to the family, and I told him, I said, look, we're not here to start a problem with your brother, your baby brother. I'm just here to pay my respects because Dorothy loved Victoria and I. And that's all we're here for. He says, come on, let's go on in. So I kind of stuck to him a little bit like glue. And each room that we were in, I told my daughter, I said, sweetie, you need to go up to him and pay your respects because his mom did die. It's the right thing to do. And she didn't want to. She says, Mom, can you come with me? I said, no, it's not my place to go near him. And so I told her, I said, but I will be watching to make sure everything turns out okay. And so she went up to him, and he got up and walked out. Every room that she and I went in, he walked out. So I said, well, it's all good, honey. Let's pay your respects to your grandmother and let's just go. We didn't stay very long. Of course, I didn't want a scene to be made, but it's pretty sad. He kept walking away from her, and it's pitiful. People don't understand the true definition of what it is to be a parent. To be a good parent, you love your children. You may not have the best for your children. I didn't have everything for her, but I did the best I really could. I gave her things before I did. She got shoes way before I did. And that's okay. That's what parents do. And I don't apologize for that. But she went to EKU, I'm proud to say. She studied in art. And she's working at the dollar store. She's been there for a bit. And before that, she worked at Kroger's. So I've raised a very good young lady. She doesn't do drugs, she doesn't drink, and she doesn't smoke. So I raised a pretty good girl. So anybody have any more questions or any thoughts? I'm just rambling. Anybody have any questions? I'd be happy to answer. Somebody's phone's vibrating. Donald, is that your phone or is that Tori's? Hey, Tori, your phone's vibrating. Hey, Tori, your phone's vibrating, baby. Wonder who it is. Maybe I should shoot him a text. Hey. Nah, I'll behave. I don't even know how to get in theirs. I do good with mine. That's another story. Oh, story of my life. It's all good. I always find the positive. But needless to say, whatever your dream is in life, just go for it. Just go for it. Just do it. Just do it. I did. And now I'm on my second book publishing. And I love it. I tell you, if you was to know me back in 2001, I was 36 years old. And I was scared of my own shadow. You say boo, I would jump. And I tell you what, if you know somebody going through domestic violence or you suspect it, you know, if they have the courage to talk to you about it, sometimes it's best just to be there and listen, because a lot of times you don't know what to do. And in my life, my daughter has brought her friends to me and said, hey, Mom, such and such is in abuse. This is going on in her family, and can you give her some advice? So I do. I listen. I'm like a big old fat mama hen. Curvy mama hen. Curvy mama hen. But I love people, love children. I just don't like some of the things people do, but, you know, I do my best not to be judgmental, because, you know, I'm out here to learn life's lesson and just do my best to inspire people to try to help, because, you know, honestly, when somebody's in domestic violence, they need help, because I couldn't even say the words I was in an abusive relationship. And in fact, here's a little quote from my book, Bruises from Within. The words, I'm in an abusive relationship, stuck in my throat like a piece of meat caught in my throat. I just couldn't say it. I lived in denial. And this is another little quote from my book. Oh, thank you, Paranormal. You're awesome. You guys are just awesome. I love you guys. Even though I'm piggybacking off a Ranger a time or two. But I sure appreciate you guys. You guys bless me. Just being there. Just being there listening. Just being you. You are special. You really are. You gonna come back in here?
Yeah.
Hey, Ninja Bunny's coming back. Hey guys, Ninja Bunny's here. Ha ha! Da 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 da! Anyway, I just feel that I was put on this earth to help people. Hey, Amy said hi. So wave.
Hello.
Baby girl's a sweetheart. I could tell you so many stories about her. I even wrote about her donating her hair when she was a little girl. And before 9/11 hit, in fact, the TV station, when 9/11 hit, they were going to feature Victoria on what's right or what's good with Tampa Bay. It was in a Tampa station. And they were going to talk to her about donating her hair for wigs with kids. She donated it. It was 14 inches long, I believe, they said when they measured it. And that's another story. I get into telling that. And she's an awesome young lady.
I was telling the guy that I had the blue streaks put in for me. Mm-hmm. I was telling him how long my hair was when I was little, and he said, so Pentecostal long. He's like, yeah, pretty much.
No offense, nobody. But her hair had never been cut in 7 years. And I'll tell you what, I was so, okay. Hey, we'll save your spot. We'll save your spot. We'll save your spot, Amy. We'll save your chair. I'll still be rambling. I'll be carrying on. Okay, so come back. Okay, now. Anyway, when she donated her hair, she kept begging, "Hey, Mom, can I cut my hair? Can I cut my hair? I want to donate it." And
I think it was like could I give my hair to our neighbor or something?
Yeah,
Because she was going
Charlotte,
through chemo.
We had a lady, Charlotte. She was my neighbor, and my daughter was in kindergarten at the time. She was 6 or 7 years old. Her hair had never been cut, and I'll have to post a picture of her. Maybe I can get Ranger to help me post that picture of her when she's in her little cap and gown and show how long her hair was. Ranger?
Maybe on the stream, because I don't.
Oh, okay. Maybe you can do that. Anyway, she wanted to donate her hair, and we went over to Miss Charlotte, and I was telling Victoria, don't stare at her, because she may lose her hair. She's going through chemotherapy. She had cancer, and she had lupus. And I said,
I didn't know she had lupus.
Yeah, she had lupus. And we would go over to her house to keep her company in the days before she died. And her family was so appreciative that we visited. I didn't tell you that, did I? And I would visit her and talk to her, and I would tell her what I was going through, and she was really a good listener. I was talking about my domestic violence situation, and she kept saying, "Karla, you need to leave, you need to leave." Well, we went over to her house that one day, and Miss Charlotte's hair had fallen out, and she had her husband Terry to shave her head. And Victoria said, "Miss Charlotte, I can give you my hair, my pretty hair." Now, a little kindergartner, little precious baby girl saying that. And that just made my heart swell with such pride, because I did something right as a mom. You always wonder, did you do something right raising your children? But when a little girl, 7 years old, wants to donate her hair, and she told me, "Mommy, I don't want anybody to laugh at Miss Charlotte because she doesn't have any hair." And she's just a blessing. She's just a blessing. I even wrote the story about her, how I prayed to have a little baby girl. I won't tell you all of it, because if I tell you all of it, you won't buy the book. Okay? Yeah, I tried to teach her so much, and I constantly beat myself up, and I try not to. And the words of wisdom from my young lady, my little baby girl, she'll always be my baby girl. I'll beat up on myself, and I'll say, "Tori, Mom's sorry for all the hell I put you through, all the pain I put you through, staying with the ex and then the other ex." I said, "I'm so sorry." I said, "But we had no place to go and no family."
I mean, you weren't the cause of it. They were. And
you're awesome, kiddo. I love you.
We had very little choices back then.
Yeah. So I'm glad you have forgiven me. And what she'll say, "Oh, Mom, you did the best you could. Forgive yourself now." She's just an awesome gift from God, and she's truly a gift. And I'm grateful every day, every waking day that I have her. She's my only child. I wished I'd had more, but that's okay. That's okay. I know I'll be a grandmother one of these days when hit.
Eventually.
See how many shades of red she turns.
Ow. I'm already red from outside.
Okay, I'll have to send you, Ranger, her graduate. It's on the big computer, so maybe you can publish it. But I tell you, I am so blessed. I am so blessed with the marriage I have and with the daughter I have. I'm just, even the kitty cats, I'm so blessed because you know, sometimes you get so depressed when you're going through some bad times and going through this domestic violence stuff. I got so depressed, but now I thank God every day that I wake up, I have a wonderful daughter, a wonderful family. I don't have riches or anything. I'm just a simple little lady. I find joy in everything, and I try to find positivity in everything. And sometimes we let life get too much to us, you know, and I know if I can make it out of domestic violence, somebody out there can too.
Hmm?
And I'm just hoping. She's fixing the green screen. Thank you, darling. She's a sweet girl.
There we go.
See, her hair's long again too. Isn't it beautiful? Anyway, she's got a little bit of green in it. But
I've still got the blue that guy put in forever ago.
those the earrings you made?
Uh-huh.
See, look, guys, she's talented. Isn't it gorgeous? As she would say, Pentecostal long. Oops, I better quit that. I might make somebody upset. Sorry about that. No malice meant for that little comment. What are things that you have learned? You want to talk about your relationship with that boy?
Not really.
Was it abusive? Was he mean?
Like,
Was he mean to you?
mentally and maybe emotionally?
Yeah, I think so. Because
I don't know. It was just really weird. And then, like, the last year we were together, as I don't know if any of y'all can relate, but I found it harder to think of the reasons why I actually loved him.
Yeah.
Because the stuff that I said before, it just kind of slowly, gradually got to the point, it's like, well...
When did he start? I will say what Ranger and I noticed about your relationship with that boy. We won't say his name. Some of the things that I noticed, you can call it love bombing, which is one of my new terms. And what I mean by that is he would bring her flowers every week. He would bring her some kind of trinket. So this is how much I love you. This is this. We've been dating this long. And this, you know.
If you love me, you'll do this.
He was always bringing her gifts. And I said to Ranger, I said, you know, and it was February 14th. I don't remember how long they had dated, but they dated all through high school.
Well, if you're talking about that first Valentine's Day, it wasn't very long.
Yeah, and he had brought her a rose, and I thought, that boy's almost too good to be true. He was saying all the right things. His mama become my new BFF. Yeah, it was baloney. Yeah. She moved in real quick, and I started noticing with her, her relationship with her husband, and that's why I suspected her son was abusive emotionally to our daughter.
I mean, he's told me some of the stuff his dad did when they were younger, and like,
did he hit his the boy's mother? Did the boy's father hit the boy's mother?
I can't remember, but I think he said something to the effect of like
But I know he
slapped his sister or like shoved her or something.
The father. Yeah. So, and he I know was an alcoholic. So, you know, father, son, and sometimes a young man, when he sees his dad hits his mom, it really does confuse him. But at the same time, the boy has the choice to become just like his father was and pass on that toxic pain, or become just the opposite. Now, Ranger, I don't know if I can tell all that, but
from what I heard, Grandpa was an a-hole.
Yeah. Oh, trust me. From some of the little pieces, I don't want to say too much about Ranger's father, but Ranger did not take after his father in all ways. Uh, because Ranger didn't hit me and things like that. So a lot of times the son can be just like the father, or maybe not. Maybe he may turn from it. Now, I had a friend in Florida. His stepdad was very abusive to his mother, and she was beaten. You know who I'm talking about.
I think I do.
Yeah, you do. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Yep, you do.
So I vaguely
And
remember the story, but
his mother was beaten by the stepfather. So
didn't him and the stepdad get into it?
Oh yeah,
real bad?
Oh yeah. They got into it because he told his dad that he wasn't going to lay a hand on. I'm not good. You're a good man, Ed. You're a very good man because you choose not to abuse. And I would say for you, I would say that was pretty difficult seeing whatever it was you saw, the abuse and stuff. That's got to be really devastating to a child or a young man. And I'm so sorry for what you went through, because it's horrendous to see a parent being being hit. I was reading what Ranger said. But the abuse, when we're raised up in it, it changes the wiring in our brains.
It really does.
It does. Don't you agree? Hey, this is pretty cool. Got a mother and daughter video. All right, we're doing good. Yay, this is getting better by the moment. I do hope people tune in, because we share a very important message, her and I. And there was times my daughter was my strength and my rock. She didn't know it, but she was, because I wanted her to have better. And baby girl, I'm proud of you.
Thanks. I
try. You are awesome. You are awesome. But I am so blessed. But it's a very difficult thing to go through, and whether you were a child witnessing a parent being verbally abused, physically abused, assaulted even, it's a very devastating thing, and it changes who you are. And just like I can even get into another subject, childhood abuse. My mother was very abusive to us. She had a lot of problems, emotional problems and mental problems. And she battered us. So the abuse came from my childhood, a lot of it. Those will be other books under a ghostwriter name, because a lot of my family is very upset that I could think about airing our dirty laundry.
It's not dirty laundry, it's exposing the light on something very serious. And something that should be talked about more, because this kind of stuff is why people are afraid to come forward, either whether it be finger pointing or it's just not talked about with some families. It's like a taboo almost.
It is taboo, because there is so many subjects that are not discussed. I mean, we've got so many subjects, even teen pregnancy. A lot of people, they don't say that word, or they send the child off to have the baby, and then, whatever. I mean, it's a way that people live in denial, and they pull their drapes to what's actually going out there in the world. Now, with my mother, when I became a mother, I made the decision I would not be like my mother. And when I had the awakening moment where I yelled at my little baby girl, she was small at the time, probably about 3, and I saw the fear on her face, and the tears were streaming down her eyes. It's like somebody shook me and said, "You're becoming just like your mother." And from that second on, I said, no, I will not do that. And I cried, and I told her, I said, baby girl, Mama was wrong. I'm sorry to yell at you. I will not do that ever again. And I had to forgive myself. My dad did not do a lot with this. He worked. And I'm so sorry, Ed. I'm so sorry for all that you have gone through. Bless your heart. If you was here, I'd give you a great big hug. Because that's devastating, some of the things you've gone through, and I'm so sorry. But what's some of the things that you have learned? Have you learned any life lessons from the things that you and I went through, living in the women's shelter and the abuse that you saw? People don't think children see the abuse, and even if it's emotional, children see more than you think. They hear more than you think.
And, well, aside from lessons, there's definitely a few gals that I remember, especially the one poor gal that came in with her freaking lip bitten.
Yeah, that was horrible.
You gotta be a 11th level kind of nuts to do that.
Yeah. And it's tragic.
Either that or on bath salts. Not trying to make light of her situation. I'm just saying.
No, he was jacked up on meth or crack or something.
Was he actually?
Yeah, he was. She told me what happened. I didn't know if
makes it worse.
You talked to her, but did you ever see her lip?
I just remember it being like bandaged a lot of the time.
She took the bandage off, and where her lips were really full, she had a bite out of it like you bite into a cookie, and they thought she was going to have plastic surgery, but God healed it. And it filled back out, and oh my gosh, it was horrendous. It was horrendous. But we got to get this out there. We've got to start educating our young people, and even educating ourselves how to heal better. How, even if you've been through domestic violence and you've gotten out of it, how to help yourself heal, how to help yourself not pick the same kind of person. Knowledge is power, and power is knowledge. You've got to just try to do your homework on it, heal. And this was my healing thing. I've been in counseling for many, many years to get over what I have been through. And then some of it, my dad was always right, even when he was wrong. You could talk to him. Yeah, I am so sorry, Ed. Good old know-it-all. Oh, that's horrendous. That is so horrendous when somebody's mean like that. Welcome to all the newbies. In case you didn't know, this is my daughter, Victoria, aka Ninja Bunny, and we're opening the dialogue of talking about my book, talking about domestic violence. And this is really the first time, when you say, Victoria, that you and I are really having a conversation of talking about abuse. So we've opened up the dialogue, and if you do get this book, share it with your daughter. Oh, that's Zelda. Hello, Zelda.
Hello.
Zelda made her appearance. She's back. Hello, Miss ZZ.
Hello.
Miss Zelda. That's Miss Betty's sister. Isn't she pretty?
And our escapee.
Yeah, little escapee. She likes to get out. So I had to put a bright pink collar on her because I keep letting the wrong cat out. Instead of letting the tomcat out, I've been letting the girl cat. Welcome, everybody, and I appreciate everybody sticking with me for, how long have I been taping? 2 hours? Almost 3 hours. And I appreciate it. But I think the more people talk about domestic violence, I really think, people need to start a group talking about domestic violence. They may have them around here in Kentucky and Lexington. I don't know. But it would be really cool, like they have AA for talking about, your your addiction and stuff like that. I think it would really be cool just to have something like this, that people that felt a safe place to talk about. Oh, I love you too, Miss Zelda. She's laying in my lap. She's precious. One thing I wanted to say is one of the signs of an abuser is if somebody hurts animals, which my ex did. He broke, this was way before you were born, many years. My little cat Mittens, he threw him across the room and broke his femur and his hip. And beware of anybody, whether it's man or woman, even a child, something is wrong if they have to hurt an animal. And let alone if they hurt your children, if they beat your children. But I do believe that people could benefit from having a group talking about domestic violence, because we need to get this out there, that it's something that don't need to stay in the dark anymore. I was brought up that we just didn't talk about certain things. We didn't talk about if Uncle Ed, I don't have an Uncle Ed, but I'll use that as an example. If he came home drunk and he threw his wife across the room or something like that, we just need to start talking about this, because we've got to start educating our young girls. We can pass condoms out in school. Why can't in school they have someone coming in to talk about domestic violence? And that's one of my things I would like to do, is go to the schools and talk to the young ladies. And as a matter of fact, I may wind up doing that with my book, talking to the high school young people about domestic violence and how it starts. Because I believe...
Even with guys, because apparently there's I didn't notice it that much from what I remember in high school, because I was usually just in my own little group, but gals would, I guess, smack their boyfriends over stupid stuff, or refuse to show affection if they wanted to hang out with their friends, or this, that, and the other. And it's no, that's not how it works. That is being a douchebag.
Yeah,
that's not how it works.
Can be abusive also, and
some are.
What do you think?
Yeah.
What do you think about me going to the high school around here when my book's out?
That'd be cool.
What's your thoughts on that?
That'd be cool. I don't know what kind of classes they have now. Things have definitely changed since I've been out. But, yeah, that would definitely be a good thing to do.
I think I could do that,
Especially for,
high schoolers.
Oh, Lordy. I just forgot the organization from EKU, but every year they do sort of a thing where people gather together, guy, girl, whatever, and just kind of share their stories of abuse and all that, and just kind of have a candlelight thingy and go around the campus.
Hey, maybe I should get that going.
Yeah. Shoot, I think Miss Teasley's retired now. Dang it.
Yeah, but I bet we could get something figured out. We could talk to our niece.
Yeah.
And see what we could get. Hey, K-Dog! Hey! Hey, K-Dog! Glad you joined!
Owie.
Didn't even see you slide in there. Hey!
He ain't joined. He's watching with his parents right now.
Oh, is he? Oh, fantastic. Hey, K-Dog and family. Hi!
Lots of love.
Lots of love. Hugs and love. Hey, K-Dog.
Love you, K-Dog.
We love you, K-Dog. Thank you for joining us. Hope I'm not boring anybody yet. Does anybody have any questions? Come on, speak now. Come on now.
Just lost my train of thought. As far as talking about their experiences, Christopher Titus is a good one to look at if you can find his videos anymore. But his special, Love is Evil, and it's spelled love backwards. He was talking about some of his past relationships, and the ladies he was with sound like monsters.
Yeah.
Like, they just broke him down and broke him down. And
hey, welcome back, Amy! Welcome back. I don't know when you came back, but welcome back, lady. Welcome back. Good to see. This is my daughter, Victoria, a.k.a. Ninja Bunny. And we've been talking about domestic violence and some of the stuff. Hey, we appreciate you, Ed. Appreciate everybody watching and listening. We appreciate you guys. So, I've almost been on here 3 hours. I don't think I'm going to beat Rangers 8 hours. His marathon, right? Love you, Ed. Love you. Lots of love from the family here. You have new family now. Did you know that? Us. So, I just, what would you suggest to talk about?
Just, if something, I don't know, just doesn't feel right when you're getting to know somebody, try to keep an eye on that feeling. Been on here
almost 3 hours. Yeah. What advice would you give any young lady or young man?
Like someone else mentioned in the comments earlier, definitely try to get to know them. And, you know, me personally, the whole I love you after a day or a week or a month of dating,
it's
just
love bombing.
Too soon. How do you know when you love someone after being together for so short a amount of time? I mean, some people when you get older, you probably click just like that, but
can I tell you
still just like,
can I tell your story about your first date with him?
That was a disaster.
And maybe get you to tell what you thought or what was going on?
There was just so much crap going on that day. Like, the way my grandma's house is made, like, we were living with her at the time, and it was, I think January, maybe?
Yeah, about January.
I just remember it was cold outside, and the pipes in her ceiling bust, and there's just, like, small waterfalls coming out of the ceiling. I'm like, crap.
This was in her computer room. The pipes had burst, and we were living there at the time.
And me and Anna's just, like, grabbing a crap load of towels, trying to cover all the electronics in the dining room. And I seen Grandma just kind of sitting in the chair, looking like she was breaking down or something, and it's like, ah! And then he texts me, it's like, hey, you want to go to Pizza Hut and see a movie? And it's like, sure. Because I figured, you know, no big deal.
We love you, K-Dog.
Ow.
We love you, K-Dog. Hugs, K-Dog. Hey, K-Dog, this is my daughter. Me and Ranger's daughter, Victoria, a.k.a. Ninja Bunny. We send our love to you, dude.
But,
sorry about that.
Oh, you're fine. But, once like, his mom took us to Pizza Hut, and when we got there, I don't know if it was anxiety or what, but my stomach just decides, oh, you want to eat? Ha 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 ha. Let's freak out and stay in the bathroom for a while. So I'm just waiting to, like, hurl, but it's not happening. And I'm just, like, texting my parents, like, hey, I feel like crap. Can y'all pick me up?
So let me take my part on that one.
That didn't work out.
She was locked in the Pizza Hut bathroom, and I think she was having panic attacks.
I don't know why either. I think it was mainly
that's what you were having, I think, is panic attacks.
I think it was mainly because all the crap that was going on at Grandma's house.
Yeah.
So it was just kind of like,
so
what's going on?
Mom and Dad came and got her, and we said, well, let's call this a day. And so they were double dating. Well, I don't know if you'd call it double dating, but he was dating her, and his mom came along. How old was you? 16? 16? 17?
15, I think.
15? 15.
Maybe.
Going on
remember.
16. And, but she always had to have somebody with her. No, you were 16. You were 16.
Somewhere around there.
You were 16.
Because
I told you that you can only date if you're 16. That's right. Anyway.
Well, yeah, that was because the last guy couldn't figure out how to end things because I didn't want to come off as a jerk, but the guy was like, really? I don't know if clingy would be the best word to use, but he was just like this, and we hadn't been together maybe a couple weeks.
Yeah.
And
we had to break that one up because they was something about the first boy that made the hair on the back of my neck stood up. And anytime you have that feeling about a young man or young lady, listen to your instinct.
Like, as sad as it is to say, I felt more comfortable around his brothers than I did him.
Yeah, he was creepy. He was creepy. But
he told me some stuff online that's just kind of like, okay, I could have gone my whole life without knowing that, but thanks that you think I'm a good person to confide in?
He was something.
So weird.
But I think, and sadly, a lot of times I beat up myself because I feel like at times I set a bad example for my daughter, staying with my ex and then getting into another one. But, you know, a lot of times you just have to forgive yourself and move on from it.
Yeah, you have to.
And it took me a while. I can forgive anybody but me. And I really held that over my head like a hangman's noose because I couldn't forgive myself because I had put my daughter through some stuff. But you know what? I look at it like this. When you know better, you do better. You do better. When you learn from life's lesson. And I always tell Tori, hey, take notes. It's life. And teach somebody something. That's a little thing we used to kind of say to her when she'd be getting out of the car to go to school. I would say, baby girl, teach them teachers something. You know, teach them teachers something.
I remember, sorry to interrupt you, but
it's okay.
One of my science teachers that I had in high school, like, we got to talk about, like, millions, billions, trillions, quadrillions, and all that. And he got to a certain point where he couldn't remember what the first part of it was called. And I piped up and it's like, sextillion or septillion? And he's like, do what? It's like, sextillion 6, septillion 7. And then some of the dudes around, we were kind of snickering. It's like, yeah, ha ha ha, I said sex. Woo. But the teacher was like, oh yeah, thank you. And continued on, and so...
So have you ever had any friends that's been in an abusive relationship that you gave them advice?
Trying to remember. Well, somebody that I'm friends with, and now she's back with the guy. I don't know if he's actually changed or not, but...
Oh, I know who you just don't say her name.
I won't.
Out of respect.
And it's just kind of like,
what
you doing?
Yeah.
You told us all this crap that happened with him, and now you're back together?
But see, Victoria, that's... Until you break the chain of abuse... You have the what's the word? You have the your I can't think of the word. Hey, K-Dog. Bless your heart. I'm so sorry about your panic attacks, honey. Oh, I'm praying for you, K-Dog. I hope you're doing okay, hon.
Oh, dang.
Bless your heart,
That
baby.
sucks.
What's the word? Well, I lost my train of thought, but oh well.
Mindset.
The mindset of I just totally lost my.
Well, I get that once they come to the realization, hey, this person's bad news, but some of the other stuff that's happened with this gal is just kind of like...
Yeah, he's pretty abusive, the fella.
No, I'm just talking about her in general, just kind of like...
And isn't she the one that's expecting?
No.
Oh, the other one. Oh. Okay, my bad.
No, not her.
The
one that doesn't live too far.
Oh, okay. When you get out of an abusive relationship, a lot of times you can wind up going back because you're vulnerable. That was the word I was looking for. You're vulnerable right after, and because just like my ex, a week after I left him, he got down on one knee and proposed. And I'm going to tell you what I told him. But it was a little more graphic than what I'm saying, but you'll know what I mean by what I'm saying. I said, people in Hades wants ice water. You had 20 years to propose to me and make things right.
Nico.
I said, what's really behind this? And his answer was, well, I got to keep you from filing child support, and it's better to marry you than to deal with taking care of child support. And that's another subject that a lot of people have the misconception, I guess, the misconception of paying child support. And this is the way I'm going to put it from a child's perspective. Does your son or your daughter, if you're divorced, separated, or whatever from your other half, and they have the children, okay, and let me give you an example from my life. Do you care that your child eats every day? Do you care that your child has a roof over her head? Well, huh?
Or his head.
What?
You said her head, I said, and his head.
Yeah.
Oh, I thought you said whose head.
Oh, misunderstood you, Ranger. Anyway, he's commentating again. And my ex didn't want to pay child support because he made this about him. And I'm going to tell you what child support is. And a lot of people know what it is, and they probably know about what I'm going to say. But the man or woman that makes it about them, which that's what my ex would try to do. Well, you're going to spend that money on this and on that. But your child deserves to eat every night. Your child deserves a roof over their head, clothes on their back. Your child deserves to eat every day. You eat every day. Why shouldn't you pay your child support? And this excuse, a lot of them get, well, I don't have a job. I don't have a job. You know, pick up pop cans off the side of the road. You can cash them in. Honey, if there's a will, there's a way. And a lot of times, there's not a lot of real good jobs. Any job is better than none.
Yeah.
Your child deserves to eat. And if your other half that has the custody of the child, the custodial parent, whether it be guy or gal, if they get food stamps, don't knock that. Don't judge.
Sometimes you need help.
Because, okay, talking about my case, I worked at a Motel 8. And most women, and I know I'm going to get some amen from the ladies in the group, most women get paid less than a man, no matter what the job is. Now, that's not always 100% of the case, but in most cases, I'm talking about women that live in the poverty line and below the poverty line, such as I'll say myself, I lived off of $500 a month. That's including paying rent, which was $380. I made minimum wage because I had no education. My advice would be to ladies, get that education, learn to drive, learn to be self-sufficient, because you never know when you'll need. I mean, it's awesome to have a partner or husband, boyfriend, girlfriend, whichever the case is. It's awesome to have somebody that'll take care of your financial needs, but also don't be codependent, because codependency, where you depend on the other person for your everyday needs, it will disable you in the long run, especially if you have children and you're in a domestic violence relationship. You need to be self-sufficient. Depend on you. And I'm not one of these ladies that's pushing women don't need men. No, I'm not saying that at all. I'm just simply saying,
just learn how to take care of yourself, both mentally and physically, before.
Exactly.
You know, because
know who you are as a person before you dive in head first. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
You're a good one. Know how to support yourself and your children, just in case your husband or your wife or your live-in or whichever, boyfriend, girlfriend, if they should pass away on you. Even if you're not in a domestic violence situation. It's hard for a single parent. Yes. Amen, honey. Amen, Amy. You're exactly right on the money on that, sweetie.
Come here.
You are right on it on that. Because it's difficult. And with me, I had to get on welfare. Now, a lot of people's going to point their finger, but hey, if you need help in feeding your family, if you don't have somebody that will pay child support, that was my case. I had to keep taking him to court because he refused to pay child support until I forced him into court. And yep, they threw the book at him. Many times they got him in contempt. I write about that in the book. But a child, you know, don't make your child the pawn. And don't alienate the other parent just because, just like my ex, he was an egghead. And that's being kind.
Very kind.
Some
stuff he told me.
Try to be encouraging as far as a relationship, providing there's no sexual abuse, drug abuse, any type of abuse like that on the child, you know, within reason. You know, try to encourage some type of relationship. I tried to do that with my ex, and when I left, he didn't want no part of that. And that broke my heart because he didn't want anything to do with her because I left him, and he moved on real quickly. So you got to set up boundaries, but at the same time, do what's right for your child. If you're getting a divorce or separation or whatever the case is in a relationship, try to do the best for the child. Put the child's needs first, because they should have a relationship with the other parents. Don't alienate them, because bad things can happen.
And that's what's happening with one of the people I'm friends with. Her ex, apparently he was just a really sucky guy to be with, and now he won't hardly let her see her kid when she wants to, and she's like, hey, I can come up here, do this, that, and the other these times. And he sounds very, very unwilling to cooperate, and just trying to, I guess, punish her in a roundabout way. And it's like, don't be that person. Don't use your kid as a pawn to get revenge on your ex because things didn't work out. Just I'm sorry, that's childish. That's very childish and very toxic and very abusive.
Yep. And the child is the one that suffers. Just because you're mad at him or her, whomever you've broken up with, don't do that to the child, because they deserve so much better than that. Here comes Miko again. Hello, Miko.
Hey, kitty.
Miko. Oop, she's jumping now. But I think a relationship with your children is important, because they do need you. And if all possible, if you have a crappy relationship with your ex, whether it be, let's say, your baby daddy or your baby mama, try to keep a decent relationship going, because after all, that child did not ask for you to parent them, but you need to parent them. Don't be their little buddy, because you got to be mom and dad, but look out for your children. Do what's best for your children. God knows I did with my daughter. I wasn't the perfect parent, but I did everything that I could absolutely do. And
hey, I think you turned out pretty good.
Mom tried, love. Mom tried. It wasn't easy.
I just find it kind of sad that there's people out there that don't have such a good relationship with their mom or dad or both, and it's kind of like, damn.
Oh, we're trying to keep that going. Fish sticks, okay? Because we're trying to keep it G-rated, okay?
But it's just kind of like, dang.
Yeah.
Yeah, it sucks to hear that from people that I've went to school with, and it's...
Yeah. It's difficult, but I hope that my live stream has been helpful to somebody. Been on here for 3 hours, guys. Woohoo! And I'm gonna say goodbye. This time I mean it. Thank you, Ed. Love you. Thank you. That's precious. You're precious. Are you talking to me? Oh, whoop, my bad. I misread that. I still can't read, huh? Hugs, everybody. And I do appreciate everybody in this boat for this long talk. So, I hope everybody has enjoyed it, and if you can, write me some comments, see what you think. Maybe write me some questions that you may want me to tackle the next time, because I will be definitely doing another live stream. Thank you, guys. God bless everybody. Be good to one another, because we're not promised tomorrow. God bless everybody. And most of all, thank you, guys. Thank you, Ninja Bunny.
Thanks
for coming in on this. We certainly appreciate it. Love you guys. Love, peace, joy, and take care of each other. Be kind. Hi, Miko. Miko. Miko, come back again. Hi, Miko. She's a little tiny.
Okay, sweetie.
She's a little baby. Anyway, love you all, and thank you so much for showing up on my very first YouTube live stream. I had a lot to say, guys. Thank you so much. Oh, my phone's going off again. Anyway, thank you guys so much for tuning in. God bless everybody. And we'll keep you posted on my book as soon as it's out. I'll do some more videos. So like I say, I'll keep the chat up. So if you will, just put some questions in there, some comments. If you'd like me to answer some questions, I'd be happy to open up another streaming video maybe later. So God bless everybody. Love you all, and thank you all for tuning in. Say goodbye, Ninja. And thank you, Ninja Bunny, for my special guest. Bye, guys. Love you all. Bye.